Coach Jeff Morris and his Milan Bulldogs together. Milan is 11-2 on the season.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Christ Presbyterian Academy, CPA, here in Nashville, Tennessee, for tonight's broadcast of the 3A state semifinal football game between the homestanding CPA Lions and the visiting Milan Bulldogs. About 2.5 hours, basically a little bit northwest of Nashville, are the Milan Bulldogs. And we are starting our broadcast a little bit early, about 10 minutes or so before kickoff. Kickoff will happen a little bit after the scheduled 7 p.m. start, it appears. Right now you can see down the field a group of young ladies getting ready to sing the national anthem. And we'll have the invocation before that. This is Phil Newman, your Director of Communications. Excited to be here tonight to bring you the broadcast of this big game between the undefeated Lions, who come into this game at 13-0 on the season, and the Milan Bulldogs, who come in with a record of 11-2. This is, of course, for those fans who are current on CPA football, a rematch of last year's semifinal game, in which Milan defeated CPA at Milan 16-14 on a safety scored in the fourth quarter. It was a close game, tied at 14 for most of the game until that safety happened, and then the Lions couldn't quite come back. So tough way to end the season last year for the Lions, who finished at 12-2. Since then, of course, undefeated, 13 wins. Now Coach Ingle Martin, in his second year for the Lions, is 25-2. His teams are. So the Lions excited and motivated for what is essentially a rematch of last year's semifinal round game, in which Milan defeated CPA and went on to the final the following week against CAK, Christian Academy of Knoxville, and CAK soundly defeated Milan in that game. Strong team. The Warriors out of Christian Academy of Knoxville with a quarterback who's passed for 4,000-plus yards this season. High is his name, and he will be tough for whichever of these teams tonight prevails. Now, you see the ladies out there, and then Milan and CPA are both preparing to take the field from at the far side. Coach Mike Elson right there at the bottom of your screen as well, our athletics director. And right now, Jack Cawthorn, you may hear, is announcing the starters for CPA. They include, of course, Albert Mitchell, senior quarterback, who is a Samford commitment. Mitchell has had an outstanding season, following up last year's really good season for Mitchell. He has passed for almost 2,000 yards on the season, and including 700-plus in the playoffs. So these 3 games, Mitchell has thrown for 720 yards just in the playoffs, after throwing for 1,263 in the regular season and 17 touchdowns. His favorite targets include, Thomas Richard, probably number 1, and also J.R. Osborne have been on the receiving end. Richard, leading receiver for the Lions. Now we will have invocation.
I would like to again welcome Milan as our honored guest here tonight. Hope you had a pleasant drive. And together with us as we talk to God. Father God, Holy Father, maker of heaven and earth and all things therein, and giver of all good and perfect gifts. Thank you for all the blessings that you've given us for so long. We realize we're so unworthy, and we're grateful to you and love you for that. We thank you, Father, for what this night holds for us. We thank you that these 2 fine football teams play here with an opportunity to go on to play for a state championship, and that's a wonderful thing. We thank you for all the people that follow them and support them and cheer them on. And Father, we pray that all things we do or say or think tonight will be pleasing to you and to your honor. We ask that you protect these players, there be no serious injuries. And Father, we leave this place tonight. May we realize that the great game of life, was won for all of us a long time ago when Jesus shed his blood on the cross. Help us pick up that cross and walk with him the rest of the way home. And then may he take us home to heaven. And we'll be together.
now, fans, our national anthem. Please welcome CPA seniors, members of the singing group Vision, Catherine Fisher, Lydia Granared, Mary Monroe, Abby Newman, Carter Stout, and Emily Wallen.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Go get 'em, boy!
Ladies and gentlemen, Catherine Fisher, Lydia Granared, Mary Monroe, Abby Newman, Carter Stout, and Emily Wallen. Tonight's officials from Knoxville.
Well, there you hear it. Some lovely young ladies here at the Academy singing the national anthem there, followed by Coach Ken Redmond with the invocation before that. Sorry if you couldn't hear that very well. It's definitely it's blustery and cold and windy. If you're at home somewhere with hot chocolate, I am not envious in the least. It is definitely a cold night here. And it's gotten colder as the day's gone on. It was blustery and windy early on. The sun was shining at least, and it was somewhat warm. But now, much different story as night has fallen, and it's definitely chilly. But the players are warm. They are excited. They're ready to go. Both teams, obviously, when you're in the semifinal round, you're definitely fired up, no question about it. The motivation is one more game. You make it to state for a chance to compete for the title. Milan was there last year. They've been there a lot, actually. Milan has been to many, many state final games, and they have several championships. Lions have two championships back in 2000 and 2002, and 2002 was the last time the Lions advanced to the final. Last year, of course, was the last time the Lions advanced to this round, the semifinal round, and that game was at Milan. And now it's the captains preparing to come out, and we'll tell you right now for Milan, best player on the team is number 29, Arkell Coleman. Coleman is a senior, goes 6'1", 200 pounds. He will run the ball frequently. He ran the ball quite a bit last year against CPA in this game and was outstanding, and he's had a fantastic season. Coleman does the bulk of the running for Milan, and then they also benefit from having an outstanding quarterback, and he is number 8, Caleb Powell. Powell also a senior, 6'2", 215. I understand Caleb has, I think, an offer for baseball scholarships. He's an outstanding athlete, not only in football but also baseball. And so Powell, number 8, will call the signals. We'll see number 5, Octavius Cook, at receiver for Milan. Octavius Cook, number 5, 6'1", 185 pound. He'll be on the receiving end, one would hope, if you're a Milan fan, of many passes thrown by Caleb Powell. But look for the Bulldogs to run the ball primarily. They will try to run about 75% of the time and pass maybe 25%. So look for Arkell Coleman, 29, as the toss is won by CPA. They will defer to second half. So it looks like Milan will receive the opening kickoff, and the Lions likely will get it to begin the second half. We heard a few minutes ago the score was CAK 20 and Elizabethton 13 over at East Tennessee. That's at Elizabethton. 2013 in the second quarter. They're an hour ahead of us time-wise, so they're well into their football game. And the winner of that game will play CPA next week. we talked about Milan being in lots of different state final games, along with Good Pasture from Middle Tennessee. The other side, it's been Alcoa almost every year from East Tennessee. Here come the Milan Bulldogs on the far side. Their fans have done a good job of filling most of the visiting seats over there. They bring a good contingent of fans. Coached by Jeff Morris, he's the head coach for Milan. I mentioned earlier Ingle Martin. I think I mentioned Ingle Martin. Yes, he is the head coach for CPA in his second year at the helm. Alcoa had been to a bunch of different state finals. They've won a lot of titles. It was Alcoa and Milan a fair amount. Now, last year, CAK was able to kind of break that Alcoa stranglehold, if you will, and make it to state and win state. And now Alcoa is out. They lost last week to CAK in the quarterfinal round. So CAK has come on strong the past couple of years, and they will be a formidable foe either for Milan or for CPA next week. Now we have about 0-0-0 on the clock, which means we're about to get going here from the den. And the crowd is enthused. There come the Lions. You see they all dressed in all white with purple numerals and gold helmets. Milan is dressed in purple uniforms with white trim and white numerals and purple helmets. So both teams are purple. Milan more purple and white, CPA more purple and gold. Bulldogs will receive the kickoff taken by sophomore J.R. Osborne momentarily. Crowd is extremely loud already and pretty full here on the CPA sideline. Good to see that. We definitely encouraged a lot of our fans to come if they could, and they have done so in force. If you're joining us either out of town or in town, thank you for joining us. We certainly hope you enjoy the broadcast, especially if you're a CPA fan. And I understand from a text here that a little bit of buffering going on perhaps where you are. Hopefully that's not too bad tonight. If you see the screen freeze, just refresh your page, and that should help. Stay tuned. At halftime, we'll have a couple different interviews. One, we plan to interview Coach Becky Legate, girls basketball coach, about the upcoming basketball season, already underway, actually. And we had hoped to interview Coach Drew Maddox on the boys' side. I think Coach Maddox staying home, resting his vocal cords and his voice tonight. And we'll talk nice things about him in the context of the interview with Becky Legate. Also hoping to interview Patrick Etchison, who is a freshman at the U.S. Naval Academy and back on campus tonight, a class of 2012 CPA graduate. Football time in Nashville. Osborne's kick goes deep. It'll be taken there by Warden. Warden fumbles, picked up by a teammate. Ball still alive. And Benedict is over there to make the tackle. Nice tackle on T.J. Bryson. Number 33 had the ball. The return will be well covered. And then it's down to about the 11-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10. Milan on the first drive of the game for either team. On defense for CPA, you'll see on the line likely we'll have the likes of, Landers, Charles, Brown, Smith, Isaacs. I see Chris Charles, 24, Elliott, 72. Hooper, 68, is down there, and also Parker Howell, 66, on the front four. 1st and 10 under center is Powell. Handoff, who else? Yes, it is Coleman, and it's a first down run on first down. Arkell Coleman appeared to be running downhill there as he did last year in many of the carries against CPA in that game. So it's immediately a first down gain for Coleman. So 1st down and 10 now from the 21 for Milan. Handoff Coleman again, this time the other side. Coleman met by Smith, and Keck taken down there. Short gain that time for Coleman. Good D by Chase Smith, 22. Matt Keck, 44. And Elliott got in on the mix as well as Hooper and I think Godwin at the end. So good tackle there. That was the kind of thing they did last week very well against Cheatham County. CPA, the first man, put a good hit on the runner last week, and then there was gang tackling, a good pursuit to the ball by his teammates. Same thing on that play. 2nd down, 7, 3-yard gain for Coleman. He's a strong runner. That was not much of a play, and he got 3 yards on it. Coleman again, the other side, right side. Taken down after about a 3 or maybe 3-yard gain again. Robert Brown, 21, in on that, along with Keck. Elliott, flag goes down late. everything stopped. Not sure what happened there. We'll see if it's against. It's going to be a dead ball penalty. It would be about 3rd down and 3. It's against CPA. I didn't see this. I didn't indicate. Personal foul? Yes. It'll be a 15-yard penalty marched off against the line. Not a good sign right there. All the way up to the 42. It'll be Milan benefiting from that infraction. Not sure. I didn't see what happened there. It was they were kind of a melee, a pile of guys as the play ended, and they all kind of got up, and the flag went up. It may have been on the bottom of the pile. Something happened. Hard to tell. Here is a run up the middle, churning his legs for about, well, how many? 4 or 5 yards. That time was Sappho. Yes, Dwayne Sappho, number 40 on the carry. Sappho is a 5'7" junior. We'll say 4 yards on that. It'll be second out about 6 from the 47. Just underway, about 10 to go. First quarter, no score. Thanks to Derek Penico up in the booth helping us out on production. Derek, big help. Appreciate that. Powell, handoff Coleman. Coleman has a bit of room, but Goblin, nice tackle that time by Will Goblin, number 18. Came up from the corner, and the senior made the tackle. Still, though, going to be about 3rd down and not quite 2 for Milan. 9:44 clock running first quarter. Last year's game, low scoring, 16-14. We'll see if this year's game follows suit. Both teams are capable of scoring a lot of points. Milan has scored 65 in at least one game this year and 42 in another, 45. So they got some potency on offense. Powell, handoff to Coleman, spins, down for a first down and more, inside the 45 to the 44, Arkell Coleman. Coleman is a handful, no question. Landers on the tackle, but not before a first down gain. Here we go. From just inside the 45. 9 minutes on the clock here in the first. Powell, handoff. Who else? Coleman, still going. Coleman, tackled by Chase Smith. Not before a huge gain, though. Down inside the 35 to about the 33. It'll be a first down again. So Milan is driving. The Bulldogs have taken the opening kickoff from the 11-yard line and driven to CPA's 33 to this point. Big thanks also to Mary Monroe on camera up top. She was actually one of the young ladies singing the anthem a few minutes ago. Now she's on camera for us, so she's a versatile, talented senior here at the Academy. Powell almost on his seat there. Handoff Coleman. Coleman has room. Good blocking right there. A lot more room. Down inside the 20 to 15. Tackled by Xander Isaacs at the 15. That was a play where it was very well blocked. Assignment blocking that time for Milan was effective, and Coleman had lots of room to get through, and he did. Ball at the 15. I was talking to Xander's dad earlier, Alan Isaacs, and he was saying, Xander doesn't want to have his name called too much in the game because that means they've broken through your line and your linebackers, and they're in the secondary. So good tackle that time by the junior Isaacs. Driving are the Bulldogs. They're at the 15. Powell. Powell goes down, way down under center. He's almost on the ground. Handoff Coleman again. Left side this time. Coleman tackled out of bounds after a couple. Looked like Landers. No, it's Houston Nichols actually. Hit Nichols, the sophomore, on the tackle, number 1. Out of bounds, so that will be a gain of... Oh, it's a penalty, though. Can't quite see from here. It's a holding penalty. That's a big one against Milan. Maybe a spot foul. We'll see if they back it up. They'll back it all the way up to the 24. Holding, they always say holding can be a drive killer because it's one of those penalties that really stems the momentum often. And that time, it will bring up now a first down and 20 from just inside the 25 of CPA. Here's Powell. He's got Safa behind him and Coleman at the tailback. It's a handoff to Coleman to the right. Coleman cutting back inside through the line, tackled by Brown and Smith, but not before a good gain, about 10 yards or so. So he gets half the penalty back. Well, he gets the penalty yardage back, actually, and it'll bring up now a second down and about 10. Well, let's see. Maybe 9. You can see the wind is blowing the yard markers over there. It's really, really gusty and cold here in the den, and there's all kinds of streamers around and balloons that are blowing around that the senior moms did a great job decorating the den today. A lot of the senior and the football moms doing their thing. Here's Powell again. Coleman, same runner. That's their game plan is Coleman. Ball comes loose. Referee says he was down. It was Adams, I think, falling on it. No, actually, it was Paul Adams who fell on it, but they said his knee was down. Coleman's. Well, it's been basically Powell handing the ball to Coleman pretty much every play except for one, in which I think it was Dwayne Saffo. He ran once. I think Coleman has run every other play on this drive, and we're down to the 10-yard line. Big play here, third down. Timeout called by Milan, so they'll have their first timeout of the game. Lions up all three of theirs still. Just really getting going here. Well, actually, the clock has been running. The running game has gotten the clock down to 6:52, so we're under 7 minutes in the first. So it's a fast first quarter because, Milan's been running the football, and that clock has kept running. I don't think they've attempted a pass that I've seen. Also want to mention we have in the booth here with us, I said legendary earlier, a sports writer, Harold Huggins is in the house and up in the press box. Legendary, or he's a living legend is what he is. He's a sports writer extraordinaire. How about that? The Nashville City paper. So we appreciate Harold being with us. And next door we have Chip Cirillo also in the booth from the Tennessean. We've got Milan radio station down below. We've got 560 AM on the far side of the press box, broadcasting radio. And so a lot of attention focused on this is a big game. There's some other big games around our area this tonight, including Siegel hosting Maryville. That's two undefeated teams. You got Beach playing in the other classifications, but this is a big one in 3A. Okay, here we go. Third down, 4 from the 10. Powell, handoff Coleman. Coleman trying to get outside. He will not. Ball's loose. It's on the turf. Who's got it? I think Sappho recovered it for Milan, did he? Yes, it is Sappho, number 40, coming out of there with it. Boy, that's reminiscent of what happened last year when CPA recovered a fumble and ran it back, 88 yards for a touchdown. That was eerily similar to what happened on that play a year ago. That time, though, Milan recovered. So it'll be a field goal attempt upcoming, or at least they're lining up for one. The kicker, number 37, Caleb Appleton, senior, 5'8", 155. Appleton will attempt out of the hold of Powell from the 20, so it's going to be a 30-yard kick attempt anyway. The kick is on the way. It's going to be no good. It's off to the right and maybe a little bit short as well. So the Lions hold on Appleton's field goal attempt. Doesn't get a lot of that one, I don't think, or didn't get all of it anyway, and it was no good. Maybe the wind was a factor, I'm not sure. Either way, good stand by CPA right there. After a long drive by Milan, a penalty hurts them. And they go. The holding penalty really hurt Milan on that drive. The Lions, were able to hold. That's yours. This one. Thanks. All right. So the Lions on the field for the first time. Mitchell at quarterback in the gun. Chase Smith beside him. In motion goes Osborne. Landers in the backfield too. Handoff Smith. Smith looking for a hole. Smith not finding much. He'll fight his way for a yard or two, maybe 2. Good job by Chase to persevere right there after the initial hit. That was Smith, right? Yes, 22. Smith, leading rusher for the Lions this season. Outstanding year for Smith. So it'll be second down, 8 coming up right here from the 22. Last week, Chase had 187 yards. Smith again. That time, Smith 187 last week against Cheatham County. He has been the main weapon on the rushing side for the Lions this season. Richard and Osborne are out to the right now on 3rd down and 3. It's going to be Smith again. Smith looking for a hole. Smith trying to fight his way toward the first down marker. Will be, I think, a bit short, yes. Well, that's a kind spot. Hold on a minute. Referee gave it what a friendly spot. And a first down. Oh, my goodness. I'm surprised. That referee from this side, the line judge, came in and put his right foot down. I thought surely they were going to mark it about a half yard short. But no, it's a first down. And Mitchell will take the snap from Connor Brown again. In motion as Landers. It's Smith again. Smith trying to get something going. He's hit early, but he falls forward for about a yard. Good play there. Tackle was made initially. The initial hit was by T.J. Bryson, 33. So they're tough. Up front are the Bulldogs. They got some big guns, some big guys in their number 90. I see Marcia Nunn. He goes 5'10", 235. And they've got number... Well, hang on one second. We'll get this play off. High snap. It's Presley. Oh, my goodness. Presley met deep in the backfield that time by Bryson. And he's tackled down for a big loss on 2nd down. It'll bring up a 3rd down and about 15, maybe 16 to go. 16. So good play right there by Bryson to get through his block and tackle Max Presley deep in the backfield. Now we'll see if maybe the Lions pass for the first time tonight. Mitchell, yes. Blitz coming. It's going to be a screen attempt to Smith. Smith, I think, either had gotten tangled up or slipped, and he wasn't there to catch the pass from Mitchell. Like, good pressure that time was put on by number 90, Nunn, for Milan. That disrupted the play as well. So that brings up a 4th down and 15 from the 24. And with 3:40 to go first quarter, CPA will be forced to punt. It will be Osborne to punt. Joe Trice is the up man for CPA. Back to return for Milan. It looks like it's Chad Warden, number 11. JR's punt is going to be an end-over-end kick to about the 47, taken at 48 maybe. Fair caught by Chad Warden. So it'll be 2 possessions, one each so far, no points. Milan drove deep into CPA territory, had the holding penalty that stymied them, and the field goal attempt from 30 yards was no good. That time the Lions gained, 2 first downs and had the punt. So Bulldogs have it for their second drive with 3:32 on the clock in the first quarter. Stands have really filled up on both sides. Great atmosphere for football. Powell under center. Sappho behind him along with Coleman. It's Coleman, yes. No surprise right there. Coleman getting outside. Nice tackle, nice hit initially by, who was that, Chase Smith over there. Finished off by Richard, but not before about an 8-yard gain. Coleman's the kind of runner that can just kind of fall forward, it looks like, and he gets 8 yards. I mean, he's just fast, big, strong. They're going to say, well, it's a long 8, I think, on the gain. 2nd down 2, 3:03, and the clock running first quarter. Out to the right, we have Warden along with Bolton. Handoff this time to the fullback. Nice pursuit, nice tackle right there by the Lions. Did he get enough for the first down? It's going to be very close. It'll depend on the spot. I think he probably has it. Let's see if they give it a first down. The referee is lining it up and trying to see. No. He's saying it's going to be 3rd down and very, very short. Inches. So we'll see if Milan goes for perhaps Powell on a sneak or Sappho on a fullback dive or maybe Coleman on a run from the tailback spot. They have not attempted a pass in the first quarter. 2:17 clock running. Wide receiver out to the left is Hayden Bolton. It is Coleman. Coleman has a first down, yes. To the 40. Is the ball loose? Heard somebody say ball, but no. That will be a first down gain for Milan. So far this game is as billed. Very closely matched are these teams. And Milan driving again. Inside CPA territory for the second time. at the 40. Here's a pass attempt by Powell. Man open, but he drops it basically. That was number 9, Hayden Bolton, the sophomore receiver. Had it on his hands for a moment, and it slipped off. Maybe the ball's a bit wet. Maybe it's cold. He has gloves on, but incomplete. So that was the first pass attempt of the game for Caleb Powell. It was incomplete. I saw Bolton go over to the side, hitting his helmet, hitting his hands against his helmet as if to say, that's my bad, I dropped it. He was open, too. Powell again under center. Handoff. No, it's a reverse. Oh, good job by CPA to snip that one out. Great job. Flag goes down in the middle of the field. Nice job by Chase Smith along with Nichols, Keck, Brown, and some other teammates helping him. That was T.J. Bryson that time, but the reverse did not fool the Lions. They did a good job of staying home, and it will be a loss, but the referee right now, they're talking about a penalty. Let's see what they decide. Holding against Milan, so that will back them up, I assume, and they may decline it, the Lions. It's either going to be, well, we'll see if they decline it. It is declined, so Coach Martin says, I'll take the down and the loss on the play rather than giving them back another second down and the yardage on the penalty. So it'll be third down now and 13 from the 43 of CPA. Crowd on its feet down below us here in the press box, many on their feet at least. Student section making noise. And the players, you can see they're exhorting the fans to do just that. Make some noise. Defend the den, as it were. Some of the banners around say. Powell. In motion goes Warden. Powell. Handoff. No. Going to pass it. And it will be disrupted beautifully in the back on the rush by Elliott, Charles, and Landers. Powell had to rush that one, and it was over the head of his intended target there. I think that was Octavius Cook, number 5. So Cook was in the vicinity. But a good job of CPA rushing Powell, making him throw that one early. And it will be fourth down and 13. So the Lions force a punting situation, we would expect. And back to kick to punt will be Brett Hopper, senior punter for Milan. 1:03 to go first quarter. Kick is away. It's a good one. May go too far, though, it does. Into the end zone. That one turned over nicely, but too far for Milan's liking. It'll be a touchback, and the Lions will take over at the 20. It'll be their second drive of the game. So Milan has had 2 drives, no points. CPA 1 drive, no points so far, under a minute to go here in the first quarter. And you can see that both these teams are physical. They're both fast. They're both talented. This game really could come down to a couple points here and there, as it did last year. Here's Mitchell in the shotgun. Play action. Looking downfield for Osborne. He gets bumped. It will be called interference. Osborne had a hand on the ball, went over his head, but I think interference will be the call against Jake Morris, the junior cornerback or defensive back. Got there a little bit early. From this vantage point, it looked like he was maybe a half second early. That is the call. That's a good call from my vantage point, and I'm trying to be objective here. I think he did bump him. I'm not sure if the ball was catchable. Osborne had one hand on it, but it was close enough that the referee judged pass interference. So the first big break of the game for CPA gets them to the 35 in their own territory, 1st and 10. 48 seconds remaining first quarter. Connor Brown will snap to Mitchell again. Same formation. Here's Landers in motion. Handoff. Smith, yes. Cutting to his right, no. Thrown down. Good tackle that time made by T.J. Bryson. Bryson's a strong defender. He's a senior, 5'11", 180. This team, Milan, is filled with athletes like that and on both sides of the ball. Middle linebacker for Milan is Davon Andrews, only a sophomore. So they got some young guys and some seniors. A good blend, and as the Lions do as well, some young guys in the mix. A lot of senior leadership, though, at the key spots. Of course, quarterback Mitchell, and he will take the snap right now. Going to pass. Looking long for Richard, running under it, not quite. Richard was there, was actually closer to Octavius Cook, number 5 from Milan, had his hands on it before Richard had a chance at it. On the coverage, it was Cook along with Chad Warden, number 11. Incomplete. So it'll be 3rd down and 10 with just 2 seconds to go in the first quarter. So I'll have one more play in the first quarter before we switch sides. Lions are going now toward Bellevue, if you will. And Milan facing Maryland Farms. Mitchell going to pass again, looking for, oh my goodness, almost intercepted. Do you see that? Arkell Coleman, he should have caught that one. He should have caught it. And a big break for CPA that he did not. Arkell Coleman had his hands on it, and he got in the passing lane right there and dropped it. So it'll be 4th down and 10 as we take a break for the first quarter break. Now we have the cheerleaders being introduced down to the right, led by Miss Emily Smothers. Not sure if we'll see them yet. There they are. And you see them being introduced. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but great job by the cheerleading squad here at the Academy. Hope you and your family enjoyed Thanksgiving yesterday. I know myself, I'm still trying to recover from a couple different meals, and which I ate a bit too much. So thankful for so many things, and that was a good day to celebrate yesterday. Hope you and yours, wherever you are, enjoyed the Thanksgiving celebration and enjoy the long weekend, as it were. Good job by those cheerleaders. Of course, there's a CPA cheerleading squad for football, and then there'll be another squad for basketball. Basketball squad includes our own Courtney Baker, who often helps out with the broadcasts. Courtney, a junior at the Academy. We appreciate Courtney's work and her help. Give a shout out real quick to the Fine Arts program at the Academy. They just finished last weekend. They performed The Curious Savage, and if you were there, you know it was an outstanding play. So good job to Mrs. Paula Flott and all the students involved in that. Now, CPA to punt. Osborne standing about the 21. He will punt in the general direction, we think, of Chad Warden, who is standing at the 30 of Milan. Kick is a wobbler, doesn't turn over. It's a fair catch made again, this time by Warden, and he was met with a little love tap by Robert Brown at the 30. So, Lions give it back, and Milan will have its 3rd drive of the game, 11:53 remaining here in the second quarter. We'll try to get a score on the CAK game if we can. Any CAK score?
Like 37 to 13.
All right, just heard the CAK is pulling away from Elizabethton 37 to 13 right now. So it looks like as if it'll be pass caught that time. Powell's pass is caught by Chad Warden. First completion of the night, big gain to the 49. So 1st and 10 Milan. So it's 37-13 CAK over Elizabethton right now. And it appears as if the Warriors, is it the Warriors? Yes, CAK Warriors are punching their ticket toward the state final game for the 2nd consecutive year, if that score holds up. Here's Powell. Hand off to Coleman. A lot of room. Coleman trying to get free, meeting Richard. Nice tackle by Thomas right there, but not before another huge gain, 15 yards or so, by Coleman.
29, Arkell Coleman on the carry. Making the tackle for the Lions, number 9, Thomas Richard.
So it'll be a 17-yard gain, actually, and a first down gained by Coleman. He's holding his hands on his hips. He's been running the ball quite a bit. I don't have the count of carries, but he's got at least 10 carries so far, I think, for Milan. I didn't do the math yet, but he's maybe more, actually. 11:15 to go here in the second. There's Powell. This time it's a fullback dive. Elliott sniffs it out, though. James Elliott. Nice tackle on Sappho right there, number 40. Sappho wearing those neon green socks or tape. He stands out there. That time he was easily found by Elliott. Elliott, the Furman commitment for CPA. And he's one whose name we will call, we hope, quite a bit tonight. Lining up right now at right defensive end. Powell. Whistle blows. national anthem was really good, or before the game, by those young ladies. We want to give them another shout-out, some of those senior girls, led by Mrs. Lynn Young. Lynn Young is the music choral director at the academy, does a fine job training our students in vocal, all things vocal. They'll be singing as part of the Messiah event that CPC Church is the church is having on December 8th, I want to say. That's Saturday night. It's going to be a really fun evening at CPC. Here's Powell. I formation once again. Play action. Going to try to throw it. Open there. Oh, what a hit. Incomplete pass. It was Chad Warden, the intended receiver. He is still down after the hit by CPA's Will Whitaker. Whitaker smacked him. Warden had the ball in his hands for a second, turned around, and there was Whitaker with a hit on his hip, is what I thought I saw Whitaker hit him in the hip. Looked like a clean hit, not a helmet hit. It was pads. Good, clean football hit, and you certainly hope Chad Warden is okay, but that was a nice job by Will Whitaker to put the pads on him that time. Incomplete pass. It would bring up third down now and 15 from the 39. Warden, I think I looked like a hip type hit, so I'd be surprised if he was seriously injured in terms of it wasn't a head type upper body hit, best I could see from this angle. Certainly hope and pray that he's not hurt badly. You want him to be okay. Lions take the chance to have a little bit of a discussion on the sideline. Talking to the coaches earlier today before the game, and they acknowledge that they've got to stop the run. 29, Coleman. They're confident they can stop the pass adequately enough. The big difference between this game and last week's game was at Cheatham County. They ran almost exclusively and threw it very sparingly. This time, this week, Milan will throw a bit more, and you can tell already that Caleb Powell has a strong arm and good accuracy on those passes. So my bad. I think I said Whitaker. It was actually Will Godwin on the hit, 18. I thought I saw number 10. So kudos to Godwin on a good hit there. Whitaker is 10, and Godwin is 18. Thanks to Jack Cawthorn for setting me straight on that hit. Okay. Here is 3rd and 15. The crowd on its feet over on this side. Powell going to try to pass it again, looking in the direction of Octavius Cook. He makes the first down and more. He may score. No. A touchdown-saving tackle made by Chris Charles after Octavius Cook broke the tackles, attempted tackles by, I think, Whitaker and Smith. So good job by Charles, 24, to save a touchdown, but not before a big first down gain on that 3rd and 15 play for Milan. 10:03 to go, second quarter. They have the ball at the 15, so they have, once again, traveled deep into CPA territory. Powell, handoff Coleman. Coleman tackled by Godwin, I think. 18, yes, but not before a big gain. Well, a good gain of about 6 or 7. Hard to see from this angle right now. Inside the 5 to the 4. So it'll be now at the 9, rather. Thank you. This angle is hard to see out the window a little bit. I apologize for that. So it's a 9-yard line now, 2nd down and 4. They got to make the 5 for a first. It's Coleman again. Hard hitting going on in the middle right there. Coleman is able to break the first tackle and gain a couple. Spotted at the 6, I think. I said it before, but Coleman, he's the kind of runner that on a routine little run that appears like it's going to be a yard or two, he ends up getting 4. So he's definitely he's past the line of scrimmage before you can really blink. So now it's going to be 3rd and 1. Well, obviously a huge play here for CPA. Lions, 8:43 on the clock, second quarter. Powell, big heavy package at fullback right there, one of the linemen. Powell, handoff Coleman. Coleman tripped up by Elliott. And, well, Elliott forces him to be tripped up, and then Landers is there And it will be a loss
Coleman met in the
by
backfield
Coleman.
number
I
72,
think Coleman may have actually hit his own man,
6 in a row.
but Elliott was the one who forced that to happen. Good play by James.
Loss of
4th
3
down
yards on the play.
and
It's 4th down.
3.5, maybe 4, and in comes the kicker again. It will be a field goal attempt again. This time, once again, it will be Appleton on the attempt.
On to attempt the field goal.
Out of the hold of Powell.
37, Caleb Appleton.
This time, the ball is going to be spotted on the 16, so a 26-yard attempt. Wind is crazy swirling right now, coming at him. Low snap. Kick is up on the way. Good this time. Right down the middle, I think. So Appleton converts the field goal of 26 yards with 7:48 to go here in the second quarter, and it's 3-0 Milan. The Bulldogs strike first. See if CPA can respond. To this point, really, Milan has dominated a little bit on the field, on the terms of not possession only, but also yardage. Don't have the numbers, all the numbers at halftime for the first half, but right now, the Lions have not gotten a whole lot going offensively. They benefited from an interference penalty on one drive, but have punted twice. Milan has punted once, missed a field goal, now then converted on a field goal. They will kick off with Appleton kicking. He's got a strong leg. That was a good kick up the middle. The wind was coming basically at him from the west at a little bit of an angle, but definitely a strong wind, and he was able to convert. Can credit the quarterback, Caleb Powell, there for a low snap. He was able to get the ball on the tee, ready for Appleton to kick it on through the uprights. So here we go from the 40. Appleton will kick. Back to receive will be a combination of Smith, Presley, and Osborne. Smith in the middle of the field. Presley to his left, Osborne to his right. Green or teal shoes on the kicker right there. High kick taken by Smith. Smith looking for a hole. Smith, good vision. Smith trying to get to the 30. It does, and beyond. Smith cutting back inside, goes back up to the 35 or so. Good run back by Chase, exhibiting what Coach Mike Wall mentioned last week about Chase. He's got really good vision, whether he's running back kicks or just rushing from line of scrimmage. He is able to have patience and vision to see the hole and then move his legs on through it. All right, so 1st and 10 Lions from the 35. 7:38 remaining here in second quarter. Smith up the middle. Smith, look at him go. Chase Smith is almost free for a touchdown, but he's tackled down by Warden. Broke the first tackle and then was up the middle. Great effort there by Chase to get about 15 or 14. Hurry up offense for the Lions. Handoff again, Smith. Smith looking to get through. Not much there. He'll kind of roll down. A flag goes down, too. Smith gets to the 48. We'll see what the penalty is all about there. In the area where it could be offside, there's a quick flag thrown after the play, after the snap, so we'll see. Want to invite you to let me know how the broadcast is coming out there. I understand from one text that it's a little bit choppy, a little bit maybe some buffering going on. So if that's happening for you, refresh your page often, and we'll hope the signal will improve. If it's going great and you can hear us well and you can see us well, I'd love to know that too. You can text me at 347-5163. 347-5163. I'll be happy to just monitor that and see how it's going. One fan texted and said, boy, Coleman is tough. No kidding. Arkell Coleman is really playing well for Milan. Right now the Lions are on the move, though, but the penalty was against them, so it's 1st and 15. Mitchell will look to the side for perhaps an audible once they saw the defense lined up. Handoff, Smith. Smith, not much. Good tackle right there by interior lineman Nunn. N-U-N-N, Nunn. The 5'10", 235-pound senior. He's tough. And down is Smith, actually. Oh, boy. Chase is down and writhing in pain. He Was tackled by the lower legs and the ankles. I hope his ankles are okay, but that was the big. He's huge. It says he's 5'10", 235. I don't know. I think he's probably 250. I can't believe he's 235. Maybe 235 maybe when he was a freshman. He's huge. And I'm looking at the right number, 90. He looks like he goes 250 or more. They also have Brasher, 75, goes 280. Corliss Milan, number 72, goes 285. Riley Smith, 295. There's some big guys eating well in Milan these days. And right now we certainly hope and pray that Chase is not hurt badly. He's getting up. Coach Martin's out there along with Matt Weitzel, our trainer with Star PT, and Dr. Cook I see out there as well. Well, what's he going to do? Can he walk off? Boy, that you don't want to see Chase Smith hurt. 6:52 to go, second quarter. Chase is gimping off. The tackle around the ankles that time may be a factor. We'll see if we can get a report on how Chase is doing a little bit later. But that is not what you want to see if you're the Lions. Well, now it's Max Presley's opportunity to come in and do his thing. It'll be Mitchell again. What? Oh. Mitchell with Presley. We'll see if Mitchell passes. He will go back to throw. Blitz coming. Pass steps into it to Osborne. Not able to bring it in. Nice hit there defensively by Jake Morris, number 12. And he timed that one right. He got there right when the ball arrived, and Osborne could not quite make the catch. That'll bring up 3rd down and 15 with 6:26 showing on the clock. So we'll see if the Lions attempt to pass again. They've got who? Manuel out to the right, Osborne, Richard to the left. Mitchell looking for Manuel, I think. Not quite able to get there. Am I reading that right? Yes, Andrew Manuel, the junior. He certainly stretched out for it, but he couldn't quite catch up with it. So 4th down is the result, and the Lions will have to punt again. Not what you're used to seeing if you're a CPA fan lately. They have not had to punt too much, and the Lions have been successful on scoring early in games. Right now, no points, and they trail by a field goal with 6:19 remaining in the second. Punting from his 32 or so, and back to receive this time. It is the same return man, Warden. Fair catches it again at the 21. That's a 3rd punt by CPA. 3rd fair catch by Warden. And it'll be Milan again with the football. The big question on my mind, and maybe yours is too, can the Lions stop Arkell Coleman? They have not been able to with a whole lot of success to this point in the game with 6:11 remaining. We'll see if the Lions defense can stiffen a bit. Up front, CPA has Duval in the game, Brown, Howell. Here's Coleman. Coleman this time met by Brown. Good tackle by Robert after a gain of about 3. We'll see what they give him, maybe 3. Once again, Coleman appears to be down what should be no gain or maybe a yard. He gets 3. That kind of runner. I don't want to heap too much praise on him, but I think he deserves it, especially right now. Trying to see if I can look down and see where Chase Smith is. I don't see him. Hard to see the trainers, the bench up against the brick wall down here below us. Hard to see if someone's sitting on that bench. Powell. Handoff, or rather pass, and a flag goes down. Pass is complete, and breaking free is Cook. Cook all the way down, hit by Isaacs, and trips up at about the 48. Flag went down, and the area might be defensive holding or pass interference. I will see. Nice yards after the catch. Milan's clapping as if it's against CPA. So it'll be, I think the play will probably stand. Yes, the penalty is declined. So the result of the play is a 1st down at the 48 of Milan. Driving once again are the Bulldogs. 5:25 to go in the second. Elliott, Duval, Charles, Parker Howell, Robert Brown. Can they stem the tide of Coleman, who has the ball right now? Coleman this time met by Godwin. Nice tackle by Will as he trips him up. But once again, 4-yard gain. Coleman, when he hits the line of scrimmage, has a lot of momentum going already, and he is able to at least fall forward for, in this case, 4 yards. 2nd and 6. Clock running, 5 minutes, second quarter. Cold night. Fans have packed themselves into the den here at CPA in Nashville on Old Hickory Boulevard, right across from Warner Parks. Coleman, rather. A lot of room. First down, I think. They're going to mark it at the first down. He's pushed backward, but not before his forward progress earned him the first down. So about a 6-yard, maybe 7-yard gain that time for Coleman. Well, you can see why this Milan team is in this round. They are impressive, as they were last year. Lions have been on their heels right now. Lions benefited last season in this game by some big plays. The fumble recovery and run back for a touchdown was one of them. That was a huge play as Milan was about to score, and that gave Lions a 7-0 opening lead. It will be a first down, yes. So first down at the 42 of CPA for Milan.
6-yard gain on the play, resulting first down, 10 yards to go for the Bulldogs. Ball is at the CPA.
Got one text saying good reception. That's good to hear. It's 34-13. CAK, not 37. At the end of 3. Thank you, Dramatics. 34-13. So CAK is well on its way, it appears, to another state title game. Here's a handoff to Coleman. Getting outside, tackled, I think, by Godwin again over there, but not before a sizable gain. Thanks for the text, all who've texted. I appreciate that. So once again, it's one of those first down gains that it puts you in a good spot if you're the offensive team. At 2nd down and 5, maybe 4.5. That's what you want. Gain 5 yards on first down, you're in good shape most of the time. Out to the right come 2 receivers. Octavius Cook, number 5, and Bolton, number 9. But it's a handoff to Coleman again. Coleman breaks the first wave, spins away past Godwin, and a first down is earned again by Coleman, Arkell Coleman, and Milan. Just under 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. I predict the halftime there'll be discussion about how to stop Coleman in the CPA locker room. But right now, it's that opening, that the front line for Milan doing a great job of getting off the line of scrimmage and blocking their assignments very well. Coleman, no, it's Powell on a carry, maybe a mixed up play there, but he's still going. And tackle made down close to the 21-yard line, I think. I think it was maybe a busted play for Milan. I saw Powell turn, and running back wasn't there, so he took it up the gut. Didn't look like one of those planned quarterback draws. Landers takes a break for CPA. In comes Keck and Howell again. Out goes Paul Adams. Lions trying to stay fresh, somewhat fresh. 3:07 to go till halftime. High formation for Milan. One receiver out to the right. It's Bolton. It's going to be a handoff to Coleman. Hit by Houston Nichols. Nice play, Houston. The sophomore Nichols meets Coleman and takes him down. That is a model for what CPA wants to try to do more of. Get somebody to shoot that gap and stop him before he gets going. That time they did. Just that. No gain, I think. Maybe 1. It'll be 3rd down and 4. 2:34. First half. Big play here? Absolutely. Biggest play of the game so far? Yes. Can the Lions hold on 3rd down and 4? Coleman again. A lot of room. First down. Nichols on the tackle again, but not before Coleman had a big hole that time and was able to bust through. Not even bust through. He just kind of ran through it. It was Nichols on the tackle with help from, I think Manuel, maybe Brown. Brown has hands on his hips right there. Lions have got to be tired on defense. So does Hooper. They're trying their best, but right now it's they've been on the field quite a bit in this first half. Lions will need to sustain a drive pretty soon if they want to get the defense some rest. It's still the eye, and it's still Coleman. Coleman spinning his way. 8-yard gain right there on first down, all the way down to about the 8-yard line. Charles, 24 on the tackle. Good job by Coleman to break a tackle, spin away, and gain a few more yards for the Bulldogs. Clock running at 1:40. This may be the last drive of the half. We'll see if the Bulldogs run it down. We'll see if CPA decides to use any of its timeouts. They have all 3 left. And is that right? That's right. I think it's right. And Milan has 2. Right now, 1:25 and running. Coleman hit. That time he falls forward, fighting forward toward a first down. Boy, it's going to be close. I think he has it, though. If I see the spot right from here, it looks like he made it. It is a first and goal just inside the 5 for Milan. So Arkell Coleman, I thought this game ought to be sponsored by Coleman Lanterns. As much as we're saying is the name Coleman tonight, or Coleman thermoses, they could make some money off this because it's Coleman, Coleman, and Coleman. Here's the I formation once again. This time it's the heavy package with Nunn, number 90, at fullback, and Coleman behind him. It'll be Coleman breaking. Nichols on the tackle. Good job by Houston to wrap him up, and Parker Howell was helping, and so I think I can't see, Elliott. But it was a gain of about 2, so it's second and goal now from the 2. That same package with Nunn at fullback, blocking probably for Coleman. Well, no, this time it's Coleman to the right, hit by Manuel, and taken down. Andrew Manuel met him first. Landers helped. Good job by Manuel, the junior, to shoot that gap, or maybe he was lined up that way. Either way, he was able to prevent a gain, and Coleman's helmet came off. That's even a bigger break for CPA. Yet you have to leave the field nowadays if your helmet comes off in high school football. So he will miss a play. And it's going to be third down and goal from the 2.5 for CPA. So that rule helps CPA right now, perhaps. We'll see if they were able to stop whoever runs the ball, or maybe Powell passes the ball. We'll see. But a big play for the Lions, of course. 17 seconds to go in the half. I forgot to mention the time a minute ago. The clock had kept running, so now we're down to 17 seconds. So this could well be the last 2 plays of the half, or last play. Well, there may be the Bulldogs have 1 timeout remaining now, so they'll probably run a play. If they don't score, they'll call timeout and either go for it on 4th down or kick a field goal. But either way, it's quite likely that CPA will end the half with no points, which hasn't happened this season yet until tonight. If my math is right on the Good Pasture game, the first game, that's the only one that could have been close. It was 14-7 the final. So here we go. Third down and goal from the 2. Lions trying to keep this lead a bit more manageable. 3-0 certainly is. Okay, here's Powell with Nunn again, and not Coleman this time. It's actually a handoff, and did he get in? He got in. He did get in that time. It was T.J. Bryson on the run, and he scores with 10 seconds remaining in the half. So Bryson able to kind of ride that offensive line on through and scores to make it 9-0 Milan with 10 seconds to go. And it'll be Appleton attempting the PAT with those ugly teal shoes on, I got to tell you. Powell, the hold, the kick is going to be good, just inside the left upright. So Appleton makes it 10-0 Bulldogs after the 2-yard touchdown run by T.J. Bryson, number 33. So that time it didn't matter if Coleman was out of the game. They still scored anyway. And it will be, kicking off will be Appleton. We'll see if Lions have any kind of a special run back play on. It's all Milan so far. It's really a close game still. I don't want to mischaracterize that. It's 10-0. So there's plenty of time left for CPA to adjust. But they have to adjust against Arkell Coleman. And right now it's that offensive line really doing a good job for the Bulldogs. And CPA will have a big discussion, I'm sure, at halftime about how to adjust. And then again, offensively, we really haven't seen CPA that much. CPA has punted 3 times and not been able to sustain a drive. So back receiving is Osborne in the middle. Smith not in the game right now. Richard is back there along with Presley. It'll be a short kick taken by Manuel. Manuel looking for a hole, not much, gets to 35. Tackle with 5 seconds to go. And we'll see if the Lions take a knee here, if they go for a bomb. Probably take a knee. Go in 10-0. Don't have something crazy happen that puts you down even further. We'll see. Mitchell is getting the indication from Coach Ingle Martin and his staff down there. Halftime, we hope to have Coach Becky Legate come by the booth for a quick interview about basketball, girls basketball. Also, Patrick Etchison, who is back tonight, back for Thanksgiving from the U.S. Naval Academy, may stop by and give us a quick update on how that's going and his reflections on being a freshman up there. And, of course, he was in that game last year at Milan and played football for the Lions last couple seasons. Here is Mitchell going to maybe throw it long. We'll see. Yes, he's going to heave it up toward Richard. It'll be knocked down, though, by Octavius Cook, and the half will come to an end with the score, Milan 10 and CPA nothing. Yeah, good. And we will stick with you here for a couple different interviews if we can get them. There is Coach Martin giving his players 5 as they go off. You can maybe see that on the camera there. I know Coach Martin will stay positive, and he's in a little halftime interview right now with 560 AM radio. So we will try to do a player of the game interview, maybe a coach interview after the game from the field ourselves. So stick around for that right as the game ends. And we will get the stats also here at the half for you. So thanks for being with us. We appreciate you tuning in, and we certainly wish the news was better right now. With 1 half to go, the Lions trail by 10. They have been unable to stop Milan so far, especially number 29, Arkell Coleman, who has been on the receiving end of many a handoff from senior quarterback Caleb Powell. Lions, another big story, big subplot is Chase Smith. How is Chase Smith doing? We'll try to get a report on Chase. He went out after being tackled by Nunn and was favoring, I think, his left foot or ankle. But we'll see. We'll take a quick break and invite you to stay with us for halftime interviews momentarily. And this is CPA football on the Play On Sports Network, TSSAA.com. Stay with us.
A burning vision for a Christ-centered school was central to the ministry of Christ Presbyterian Church at its founding in 1981. The original building on this campus was designed primarily for Christian education and held the first worship service on May 13, 1984. After considerable sacrifice and prayer, Christ Presbyterian Academy opened its doors on September 3, 1985. It began as a kindergarten through 6th grade elementary school with 124 students and 11 faculty members. A grade was added each year until the original 6th grade class eventually became the first graduating class of 8 seniors in 1992. Christ Presbyterian Academy operates within a triangular partnership of home, church, and school, all building into the lives of students. As a covenant school, every family has at least one Christian parent who trusts that our covenant-keeping God will maintain their family's line of faith by bringing their child to a saving relationship with Jesus Christ. By choosing Christian education, parents embrace both belief in God's faithfulness and also parental responsibility to raise their children according to God's truth. This philosophy brings families to CPA from 30 different zip codes in the mid-state that represent about 75 different churches. Every education has a worldview. In Christian education, the worldview is based on the truth of God, which is revealed in His Word, the Bible, and made flesh in the person of Jesus Christ. Through a Christian worldview, we see that God is the inspiration of great art and literature, the sovereign director of events throughout history, and the author and creator of the physical world. Under the guidance of wise and godly faculty members, students at CPA have the opportunity to thoughtfully reflect upon and apply a Christian worldview to all facets of the academic disciplines. It means viewing everything from the complex formulas of physics to the American Revolution to the epic poems of Homer through the lens of the gospel. With precision and excellence, CPA teaches students how to filter all knowledge and life through God's truth. Students are equipped to impact our culture by making great films, writing great literature, producing great music, leading successful businesses, healing through medicine, being godly spouses and parents, or doing whatever it is God has specifically called them to do with excellence and for God's glory. Our school motto is Soli Deo Gloria, which is Latin for To God Alone Be the Glory. We strive to bring honor to God in every aspect of the academy and each student's life. Whether our students are involved in fine arts, athletics, student government, rigorous academic classes, or any other aspect of the school, the scope of that experience is designed to develop their God-given gifts and bring glory to Him. Ultimately, knowledge must be applied in order to take root and grow. Thus, students have the opportunity to learn through experience beyond the traditional classroom. Everyone is a creative being made in the image of a creative God. Studying the concepts of color, light, form, rhythm, harmony, order, and expression reveal more of the character of God. Therefore, CPA believes that studying and participating in fine arts are necessary for a strong education. Through opportunities for growth in understanding, appreciation, and enjoyment of different art forms, all students are encouraged to discover their relationship to the arts. God has gifted each individual with unique talents and abilities in order to accomplish His purposes, and it is important to provide a learning environment for students to uncover and exercise their different artistic talents and abilities. The athletic program at CPA is designed to develop characteristics that allow students to win with humility, lose with grace, and persevere to achieve goals. Teams from elementary through high school compete in a structure that is age-appropriate, competitive.
Okay, back with you here for a few minutes at halftime. You see about halfway through halftime there. Lions trail 10-0 against Milan. And in the house right now we have Patrick Etchison, class of 2012, right? CPA. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
we can hear you. Patrick, of course, is a Is it considered a freshman? Is that the term?
No, plebe.
Okay.
Plebe is the term.
I'll get that right. Plebe, not freshman.
Yeah,
At
plebe,
the U.S. Naval Academy. Back for Thanksgiving. First time back in Nashville
Yep.
since
Yes, sir.
late June, right?
Since June, I guess we left the 24th or something.
Great. So, Patrick, what's it feel like to be back on campus here at CPA?
It's great. I mean, it is like coming home. I mean, I live at the Naval Academy. My heart's in Tennessee. It's
Well
right
said.
here. It's great.
Well, of course, your mom has done a great job of keeping many of us at CPA updated on your progress, starting with plebe summer back in the
plebe
summer, which it sounded tough. Now, was it as tough as it sounded like to those of us who were civilians?
Well, I mean, it's the thing with plebe summer is it's really tough in some ways, and then it's not as tough in other ways. Like, for example, I thought, plebe summer was going to be all about, let's make them do push-ups and yell at them while they're doing. But, it was some of that, but it was, we also had some professional development. Like, we got to learn how to sail boats. We got to learn how to, got to qualify rifle and that sort of stuff.
Boxing? You got to box,
Yeah, I
right?
got to box.
Now, let's be honest. Okay, you're the boxing champion of your class. What's the actual title?
Well, I don't know if they have an actual title, but I won the heavyweight match in the plebe boxing smoker, so I guess heavyweight plebe champion.
Enforcer? Is that
Enforcer,
word?
something like that.
Way to go. Speaking now back to another tough subject with football. Of course, you were on the team last several years, and you were at Milan last year. Now, you've watched the first half here. It's a tough game, but what are your impressions of being back and remembering that game and then watching this team play the same team this year?
Well, I mean, it's one thing is number 29's definitely got
still good.
He's still good. Still, he ran over me a couple times that game, so he's definitely a big factor for them. I don't know. It's been a tough game, and it's been tough to it's been a little tough for us to I think get some drives going, but I think we definitely have the potential to break some off if I think that, we're maybe like one block away from maybe breaking one, so that's.
And we certainly hope so for CPA.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
I hope so.
Of course, you were involved in CPA Fine Arts quite a bit at the Academy. Lots of different shows. Now you're in the Glee Club. I think you mentioned that's sort of a highlight. Talk about that.
The Glee Club is it's a very prestigious group. We do a lot of good work in terms of music and
going to DC for
we're going we this 2 weeks ago we had our Veterans Day tour where we went to Savannah, Georgia, and Beaufort, South Carolina, and sang there, and that was a lot of fun, and we did some great work there, and then we went to Hood College last week for Messiah, and this weekend we're going to Christmas and I guess it's next weekend we're gonna sing and be recorded for Christmas in Washington. So
wow, outstanding.
Which is PBS, yeah.
Well, Patrick Etchison, CPA class of 2012, a plebe at the U.S. Naval Academy. Thanks so much for being with us. Good to have you back at CPA.
Great to be back.
And in Nashville. Mm-hmm. And thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
All right, Patrick Etchison. Now we will turn to athletics here at the Academy, and we'll be joined shortly by Coach Becky Legate.
Is that the first time they've been shut out at the half this year?
I think so. Headset there for Coach Legate. Let's see if I can get that. There you go. Okay. Can you hear me, Coach Legate?
I gotcha.
I can hear you. Great. Okay, Coach. Just want to do a quick interview. Coach Maddox was going to be up here with us, but he is not feeling great with the voice. He's at home resting. Smart ideas.
He's listening, though.
He's
I know
listening.
that.
I know
Absolutely.
he's right now listening, and it's chilly. It'd be tough on your throat to be out here. So, Coach, of course, state champions last year, both teams coming off the state championship season, and a little bit different squad. I mean, of course, you have the 3 seniors this year, but
Sure.
some youth around that. So what are your impressions of so far in the early going for your team?
Well, as you said, we have 3 returning seniors, obviously really good seniors. They've all 3 signed Division I scholarships, so we're excited about that. But we lost 5 of our top 8. So we have some young girls that are having to learn quickly and learn how to fill those spots that were vacated by those 5 girls. So some days it's really good, and some days we struggle a little bit, but it's a process, and each day, hopefully working back towards that same goal.
Well, before you leave that subject, that we got to put our hats off to let's get this right. Lauren Thompson is going to be at Lipscomb, correct?
No, Belmont.
Belmont. She's
That's
Belmont.
Right.
And,
you can't mess that up.
No, that's
right.
Belmont.
That's right.
Faith Legate, of course, is going to be at Lipscomb.
Right.
And Meredith Roman is going to be at Belmont.
That's
All right,
right.
I get the Lipscomb Belmont thing. Sorry about that.
You can get in trouble
If the Thompsons
if you
are
mix those
listening.
up. That's right.
My bad. So hats off to those girls on
Absolutely.
outstanding high school careers. So what do you look for as you move through district or move into district play? What's the key for your girls to really improve and gel?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's essentially making sure those young girls each day know what we're trying to do, get more confident within our system, and that they just get better and compete each day. And so essentially right now, that's what it's about, and it's a process. And as you said, we're about to start some of our district games, and with those 3 seniors leading, just hoping they can step in and just play their role and do what they need to do and keep growing up each day. I think by Christmas, we have a really tough schedule before Christmas. Hopefully by Christmas we'll see some of the fruits of that and see some of those younger girls really kind of coming into their own.
Sounds good. And of course, I don't know if you talk about this or not, maybe not, but repeating with state, maybe it's a kind of that was then and this is a whole new season.
Yeah.
What's the approach on?
Well, honestly, right now, that's our goal, and that's always our goal. But we're a totally different team. We're made up differently. It's not the same. We're going to play differently with our personnel. But our little motto is new team. What is it? It's
it's memorable.
It's new team, new year, new team, same dream.
New year, new team, same dream. Sounds good.
So, like you said, that's our goal, but we cannot compare ourselves to last year. We're totally different, and we just have to keep taking steps forward.
No question.
As we go, yes.
Well, we'll be watching. We'll have some broadcasts of some of the games, girls and boys games, coming up this season. So
Awesome.
Fans, stay tuned. And Coach Becky Legate, thank you for joining us here in the booth. And
that's right, and go Lions. Coach Martin's going to have them ready to go. I have no doubt.
We need to come back in the second half
That's
for
right.
sure.
They'll do it.
All right, thanks so much, Coach
Thank
Legate.
you.
Appreciate you being with us.
Sure, thank you.
Coach Becky Legate. And we'll mention Coach Drew Maddox couldn't be with us tonight. Coach Maddox, I know, is watching at home. Drew, we certainly are praying and hoping for your vocal cords in your throat to feel better. The boys also are state champions from 2012 and on a perhaps hoping to repeat. They are undefeated so far early on in the season. Big game last Saturday night against Brentwood. Brentwood's a really tough team and a different class, of course, different classification. But it was a really good game here in the athletics. I'll get it right in the varsity gym on campus last Saturday night, and the boys did very well to pull away late and win that game against a really tough Brentwood Bruins squad. So Coach Maddox has a lot of guys back from last year. Of course, probably the toughest loss to overcome would be Craig Bradshaw, perhaps, who is now playing at Belmont. And it was actually named, I think, player of the game the other day, one of his early first games at Belmont. So we're all pulling for Craig Bradshaw and his college career right here in town. And Lions, of course, hate to mention individual players, but I'll mention a couple. I mean, Jalen Lindsay is one of the players back, junior this year, along with Jake Alsmiller, who's coming off an injury. Jake with an ankle injury that kept him sidelined for a couple of weeks. Thanks, Coach Legate. And so he's just getting back in. In fact, Saturday night against Brentwood, he was struggling with his wind and I think a little bit just getting his legs back under him. And so when Jake gets going again, that'll be real helpful. And, of course, some of the football players, too, on the Lions basketball team. So it's good things are, I think, in store for CPA girls and boys on the basketball court this winter. Stay tuned for more details there. We're almost second half almost underway.
A friend of mine texted me and said NCS is down 35-0 at the half.
Okay.
Huntington.
Great. Thank you so much. Just heard that NCS is trailing Huntington 35-0 at half, so that's a big lead there for Huntington. And I'm looking for a score here on I'm confident that CAK was pulling away and we're going to win that game over at East Tennessee. So CAK, I think, is punching its ticket to the final game next week. So thanks to Harold Huggins here in the booth for that score update a minute ago. And good to have Coach Becky Legate on for a quick interview. Appreciate her being with us and a little chance to preview some of our basketball action that's on tap for this winter. Right now, though, we have a half of football to go, and the Lions have got to find an answer, if they can, for Harkel Coleman. He's been running very well for the Bulldogs so far, and it's going to be a challenge for the Lions to stop him. And you got to give credit to the if Coach Mike Wall were here, Mike Wall, maybe you're listening or watching somewhere over in East Tennessee, Coach Wall would be definitely doing a better job than I am of crediting the big hogs in the trenches. Mike Wall, of course, being a line man himself and a line coach, would say it's the blocking that's really opened the holes for Coleman. And you heard Patrick Etchison, too. Patrick Etchison, who graduated last year from CPA, said we're a block or two away. That's a good insight, actually. The CPA is not far from breaking one all the way. And if they can just get one more block or so, the Lions are certainly capable. We'll see how Chase Smith is doing. I don't see him warming up. Actually, I do. I see him warming up, and he's limping. So that's not a great sign. Looking down on the field, Chase is trying to warm up, but he is gingerly jogging down the right sideline, not putting much weight on that foot. If I had to guess, I would say Chase is doubtful. Well, I hope he plays, but I can just see him as he's jogging to warm up. He's really favoring, I think I can't tell if it's his left or right foot, but Chase is definitely in pain. It's his right foot. And Chase or his ankle. He's limping. Yeah, I'd be surprised if Chase makes it back. I'm sure they try to tape him up really well. He's trying to cut on it, and we'll see. Boy, Chase, that's a big loss potentially for CPA. Well, it's a little deja vu. Last year it was Mitchell who went down. He was tackled as he planted his foot to throw in that Milan game, and he was hit on the foot, ended up breaking some bones in his foot. Could not go, and Nolan Kemp came in, did a game job trying to play against Milan as a backup quarterback. That's a tough assignment. And Mitchell came back in just for that last play of the game, trying to complete a pass that was incomplete, and he was gimpy with some broken bones in his foot. So deja vu a little bit. This time it's the running back, though, not the quarterback. It's Chase Smith who has the injury, and I certainly, from CPA's vantage point, you certainly hope that Smith could go the second half, but just watching him run down there, I don't see a lot of hope. I see him right now. He's on one leg, limping. I don't know. Yeah, it looks doubtful. He's shaking his head now, talking to doctor, one of the doctors down there, shaking his head. So, well, that'll be kind of a medical decision, I think, with Chase. Do you try to go, or do you just kind of let discretion be the better part of valor in this case? So this time it'll be CPA receiving the kick, I should say, as they deferred the first half coin toss. So we will begin second half play momentarily with the Lions receiving down on the east end of the stadium here. The sophomore Osborne is back in the center. Richard on one side and Presley on the other. Kick is a good one by Appleton all the way back into the end zone. Wow, Appleton got a lot of that one. Maybe the wind at his back this time. The wind has been blowing basically west to east or right to left on your TV, your computer screen. And that time it benefited Appleton with the kickoff. So touchback for the Lions, or for the on the kick, it'll be Lions 1st and 10 from the 20. And Mitchell will have, that's Presley. Yeah, Presley is with him, not Smith, in the backfield. Richard and Osborne out to the right. No one to the left. In motion goes Thomas. Hand off Presley. Presley trying to get outside. He does. Presley, one man to beat. Presley will get the corner. Good job by Max. First down and more to the 33. Well, this could be the Max Presley half if he needs to emerge. I see right there Albert Mitchell was screaming at him in a positive way as he came back toward the huddle. Or Mitchell said something good to Presley as in, hey, great job, let's get it going. So 11-yard gain, actually more like a 13-yard gain. 1st and 10 from the 33. Looking at the sideline, Brown will split out wide left. We've got Richard and Osborne over to the right. Now Osborne goes in motion. Landers is in backfield blocking. Mitchell going to try to throw. He does to Brown. Brown catches the ball. Brown will get down to the 39 or so. Good gain. Maybe 6 yards on first down that time. So the Lions begin the half with 2 positive plays. One a 13-yard gain, one a 6-yard reception from Mitchell to Robert Brown, the senior. First half stats we'll have your way in just a moment. Mitchell going to throw again. Mitchell, this time for Brown on the other side. Brown catches the ball. Brown will go down and get up, fired up. Tackle right there made by Cook, number 5, along with number 20, Kendall White. Not before a first down at the 49 of Milan. Lions are on the move. So Presley is now out. Joe Trice is the tailback. 16, 11-10 to go first, or rather third quarter. Trice on the run. Trice has a hold. Trice fumbles, though. Picked up by Milan. Chad Warden has it. He'll be tackled by Mitchell out of bounds. Inside the 45 at the 42. Big break for Milan that time, and a tough one. A tough one for CPA as Joe Trice had a decent gain, and then he fumbled. And Warden picked it up. Tough break right there if you're CPA. With 10:56 to go. Trice gives the ball back to Milan on the fumble, and good play by their defense to force that fumble. So the Lions were driving that time, and then all of a sudden now it's Milan with the 1st and 10 at the 42 of the Lions. Powell, handoff, Coleman breaking through the line. Hanging on for dear life that time was Robert Brown, who made the tackle on the shoestring, but not before another 4-yard gain or so. Well, that was one of those you hate to see that happen if you're a CPA fan, because they're driving past midfield and then the fumble happens. Now it's Powell in the I formation again with Coleman taking the ball, and a huge hole for Coleman. Richard will try to tackle him, and eventually will, but not before Coleman gets all the way down to the 11 or so. So a big run that time for Coleman. Lions have no answer yet for that guy. Let's see if I can get the stats on in the first half on Coleman here. That run was 26 yards on the gain. Here we go. Rushing first half, oh my goodness, 27 attempts for Coleman, 153 yards gross. He lost 8 yards, so he netted 145. That's a gain for most running backs, and he did that in the first half. So Coleman continues where he left off. Here he is again, up the middle, falling forward for about 5. For the Bulldogs in the first half, Powell was 3 of 6 for 66 yards. On CPA's side, Mitchell was 0 for 6. Is that right? 0 for 6. Smith had 7 rushes for 26 yards. Not much on offense. Lions had 3 punts taken by Osborne. Just nothing much happening on offense for CPA in the first half. Better the second half drive, but then they fumble to turn it over. Can the Lions hold here? We'll see. 2nd down, 5. Coleman busting it outside. Coleman to the end zone. Coleman is in, I think. Yes. Touchdown, Arkell Coleman. Touchdown, Milan. With 9:07 to go in the third, the Bulldogs go up 16-0 pending the PAT. On that run, about 7 yards, was it, by Coleman? Milan fans on the far side, they filled up the visiting section, and they are excited, as you would expect. Appleton to attempt. It's a bad snap, and the holder, Powell, can only fall on it. So, well, break for CPA. We'll see if that factors in at all. The Lions got to score any points first. 16-0. Milan leads with 9:07 remaining here in the third quarter. 3A state semifinal. Once again, the winner will advance to Cookeville. The game is at 3 p.m. Central Time next Friday, the 30th, over at Tennessee Tech. To get there, CPA will have to do something quickly on offense. Milan, as expected, is big, athletic, and Coleman has rushed now for at least, first half he had 143, I think it was, on 27 carries. And he has at least another 35 or 40 on that drive. So he's already approaching 180. Kickoff by Appleton is in the air, long, way long. End zone, yes. Touchback. High school rules, end zone, automatically a touchback if the ball goes into the end zone. Shout out to some family folks I know who are watching the game over in South Carolina, I think. One of the families watching in Spartanburg, South Carolina. I think who else is watching. I think we had heard somebody say we couldn't see the fumble. Yeah, it was Joe Trice, 16, had the ball, and he was being tackled down, falling forward, and ball came out. I think somebody hit him. Here's Mitchell. Mitchell looking for Brown again. Brown makes the catch. Brown trying to get some close to the first down. He'll have it. So first down pass from Mitchell to Robert Brown. Brown's third reception of the second half, and he gets a first down, a gain of 11. Lions have the potential to get some points here if they would just hang on to the ball and keep on chewing up yards down the field. Mitchell back in the gun with Presley and Landers. And off Presley. Presley looking for a hole, finds a little bit of one, and is thrown down after a good gain. Tackle made by T.J. Bryson, 33. Bryson is really good on defense. Good run there by Max, though. Max gets about 5. That's a good gain on first down to the 36. Roanoke, Virginia. We have a viewer, the Campbell family in Virginia watching. So that's another state represented here on the broadcast. Mitchell throwing it again, looking for Brown again. Brown makes the catch. Nice job by Robert Brown. He gets a first down up to, they're going to mark at the 44. Brown's fourth catch of the half. And he is right now the offense along with Presley. Good throw by Mitchell. Good catch by Robert there. Got somebody watching in Nashville who had to stay home. Appreciate that. Anywhere you're watching, we had Lebanon earlier in the season. Here is Mitchell. Mitchell, it's time for Osborne. Osborne taken now, but a positive gain. Well, let's see. Maybe about 3. Maybe 4. We'll see. Marked at the 47. 3-yard gain. We had Matt Freege watching us from Lebanon, the country, not the antiques capital. Not Lebanon. Lebanon, the nation, earlier in the season. We have Australia watching some games. Mitchell to throw. Looking for Richard. Makes the catch. Good catch. Good a throw by Mitchell. He put it only where Thomas could catch it, and Richard did just that at the 37. So the Lions are on the move. 7:36 to go here in the third quarter. CPA is trying to get on the board and cut in the 16-point lead that Milan has built. They're going to go hurry up again, or at least line up in a hurry. We'll see if they, yes, they will go in a hurry. Mitchell, handoff Presley. Presley up the middle. Presley still churning a little bit past the 35. Just past the 35, so that'll be not quite a 3-yard gain for Max. They call him Mad Max. I call him the Evinrude motor. When Max gets going, he looks like a little Evinrude engine. He's just so zippy out there when he gets running. Second down, 7. Mitchell going to play action for Brown. Nice catch by Robert. Really nicely done. He'll be short of the first down at about the 29, yes. But a good catch by Brown. Again, his 5th catch of the half, I think. So right now, Mitchell is getting going, perhaps. He got receptions to Brown and to Richard. In comes Jackson Crodell. I owe an apology to Crodell and his family. Jackson's wearing 42. Earlier in the season, it was Jay Russell with 42. He gave that number up to Jackson Crodell. I got that wrong a couple times. So Crodell is 42 in the game. So good Jackson, I want to get that right. Landers in motion. 3rd down, 2. Handoff, Presley. 1st down and more. Presley running backward. Oh, that was impressive right there. Presley got turned around, and he just ran backward for a 1st and 10. CPA inside the 25, the 24. 6:22 on the clock. Chains being moved. 6:20. Derek excited here in the booth. Right? Mitchell, Osborne, and Richard. Crodell in motion. Handoff Presley. Presley with some room. Presley going to get outside. Presley the 20 to the 15. Spinning out of the 13. Nice run. And it's a 1st down again for CPA down to the 13-yard line by Max Presley. Taking the opportunity. Unfortunately, it's Chase Smith on the injury. But Presley is right now making the most of it. Presley is a junior. He'll be back next year. He will be a familiar sight in the backfield next season for CPA. Right now he is doing well. Now this time play action for Mitchell. Looking for wide open Brown. Robert Brown down toward the goal line. Is he in? No. I think he's down just outside the goal line. It'll be 1st and goal CPA at the 1. And in comes Crodell again. Round Hill, Virginia, the Green family, thank you for being with us on the broadcast. Another Virginia family. Handoff, Presley trying to get in. Presley will not be able to score. Nice job there defensively, especially by number 7, Trevor Milan. No relation to the founders of the town, I don't think, Milan. I've asked their coaches that question. The Milan brothers play for Milan. That works out well. So now 2nd down and goal from, I think, the 1 or 1.5. It's a keeper for Mitchell, not in. Good grief. Well, CPA is up against a wall right now in Milan's defensive front. And their linebackers, too. Clock running under 5 minutes now to go 3rd quarter. CPA is trying to score from the 1. It'll be Mitchell in the gun with Presley beside him. Handoff, no. Play action, wide open. It is Robert Brown. Appropriately enough, Robert Brown, after emerging in this 3rd quarter with 6 receptions, gets the catch for 6. Lions on the board, 16-6 with 4:41 to go here in the 3rd quarter. And Brown is wide open on the catch. PAT attempt will be, well, no, they're going to go for 2 because they're down by 10. It'll be 1 score if they get the 2-point conversion. Here comes Landers late. What's happening here? Maybe a timeout going to be called. I can't tell. Well, Mitchell's in the gun. Untimed here. 2-point attempt. Presley going to try to run it. Presley gets in. Flag is down, though. Hold on. Hold everything. It's good, but it's holding against CPA. So it'll be negated by the holding call. Oh, my goodness. Well, Presley did a good job of cutting it back inside and getting into the end zone, but apparently I saw the referee looking at Robert Brown that time. Maybe Brown was guilty of holding. I'm not sure. Don't want to implicate him if it wasn't true, but either way, it'll be a 10-yard penalty against the Lions, right back to the 15. What do you do here? Take a long PAT or do you go for it again? 15 yards to get to the end zone. Connor Brown there lining up as the center, as usual. So it will be Mitchell. What are they going to do here? We'll see if they pass, run, who knows. Presley is to the right of Mitchell. Landers is in the backfield as well. Brown to the right with Osborne. Richard to the left. Mitchell looking to throw. What a catch! Unbelievable! J.R. Osborne with a fantastic catch. Double coverage right there for Milan, but the sophomore came down with it in the corner of the end zone. He's got great feet. He has great hands, too. Osborne on a bullet pass from Mitchell makes the PAT from 15 yards out. So Osborne from Mitchell, what a catch. Unbelievable. And that'll make it 16-8. CPA trails now all of a sudden by one score and a 2-point conversion. Clock at 4:41 here in the third. Big turn of events there. A 15-yard PAT reception. Mitchell to Osborne. Wow. Now the momentum has shifted, at least in the stands. The CPA crowd is much more excited, up on their feet, dancing to that song Shout from several years back. What, 60s maybe? 50s? I don't know. Anyway, CPA has some life on the field and in the stands right now. Milan a little bit quieter on its sideline. They still, of course, lead 16-8, but the momentum has shifted back to CPA. Now, big question mark. Can the Lions get a stop? They've got to stop Coleman, and they've got to stop him fairly soon. If the Bulldogs drive down again on long, one of those chew up the clock type drives and score again, it'll be tough for the Lions to come back. Here we go. Osborne to kick off from the 40. It's kind of a high, short one to about the 20. Picked up. Nice hit by Nichols. My goodness. Houston Nichols with a slam down right there on Chad Warden. Warden's been hit a couple times really hard tonight. He's gimping off the field a little bit. But that was Houston Nichols right there. Textbook football hit right there. Now you see Chase Smith is in on defense. Okay, that's a good sign. At least Chase is in on defense right now. We'll see. And he's trying to motivate the crowd. He's doing the make some noise symbol. 4:36. Well, CAK leads 44-34 over Elizabeth. And I think Jack Coffin tried to make that one sound a little more hopeful than maybe it is. I don't know. Late in that game over in East Tennessee, so it's a 10-point game. We'll see if CAK can hold on. Right here, Milan trying to hold on. Handoff, Coleman. Coleman! Elliott's got him. Does he? Chase Smith has him. No. Richard's got him. My goodness. 4 guys had a chance at him. Keck finally pushed him out of bounds. But Coleman was able to make what could have been a loss into what? No gain. Maybe 1 yard. That was an eventful play for a no gain. I mean, Coleman ran all the way to the far side, to his sideline, and good job by CPA to pursue him. First Elliott, and then Smith had a chance at him, and then Keck pushed him out of bounds. Matt Keck, 44. Second down, 10. Big defensive stand here if CPA can do it. Coleman taken down by Elliott. James Elliott smacks down Coleman in the backfield that time. That was huge. Elliott. That'll be a loss of about 2. Wow. One of the few times tonight we've seen Coleman go backward. Yeah, huge play by Elliott. I think the Lions are fired up right now, folks, as if you couldn't tell by watching. Third down and 13. There is Chase Smith again, the senior, trying to get the fans pumped. 3:53 in the third. Gonna pass. Powell sacked by Robert Brown. Brown breaks through and smacks down Caleb Powell, the quarterback. Getting up slowly is Powell. Brown, heroics on offense and then on defense. And it'll be a punting situation. Now CPA continues. I see Alex Benedict doing the same thing. Continues to get the fans into it. The fans are already into it. It's huge right now. What a hit by Brown. The sack. That's his 8.5 sack, I think, on the season. Leads the team. Here's back to punt. Nice punt. Turning over to the 40. Oh, my goodness. Don't fumble that. Osborne picks it up and then goes back down to the 40. Punt was taken there by Brett Hopper. Osborne caught it around the 40 and then, well, he fumbled it first. Then he fell on it. So, whew, good play there by Osborne to recover from that muff, if you will. So, Lions have the ball back. 3:08 to go in the third, trailing by 8 points. The momentum has shifted back from Milan, where it was for much of the whole first half and part of the early second half, to CPA. Brown with at least 6 receptions in the third quarter, I think, or thereabouts, including a touchdown. Here, Mitchell going to throw again. Mitchell looking for who else? Robert Brown on the reception. Brown in fuego. 7 catches, I think, in this half. At least 7, maybe 8, somewhere in there. I think it's 7, but it'll be a second down and 3 from the 47. Lions will get up to the line quickly, as they are wont to do. And it'll be Brown in the – we'll see if Milan decides to cover Robert Brown. I don't know if they will. Richard way far left. Brown in the slot. Mitchell going to throw it away, essentially. Threw it. He was being chased by Nunn that time. Nunn, who is reportedly 235, but goes at least 15 pounds or 20 pounds more than that, I think, if I had to guess. All right. That time it was Richard, I think, the intended target, but Mitchell, I feel like Mitchell just threw it away that time. He knew he was in trouble. Brown was open again, actually, momentarily, but it'll be third down and about 4 from the 47. Well, let's see. From the 47, actually, it's more like 3rd and 3. They got to make just short of the 50. Mitchell going to throw way over the head of – intercepted, actually. Well, goodness. Way over the head of Richard, and that was picked off by Octavius Cook, number 5. Cook is an outstanding receiver. That time he was a receiver on the defensive side. Mitchell's pass sailed on him. Richard had no chance at it, and I thought it was going to go incomplete. But heads-up play by Cook to make the catch. That shows you what the receiver skills can do if you're playing defensive back. So it'll be 1st and 10 on the turnover for Milan at the 39 of Milan. Here is Cook. He's hit hard by Benedict, I think, at first. Yes. Good tackle by number 78 that time, Alex Benedict, the senior, and it'll be, 3 yards? Maybe 4. 4-yard gain, thank you, Derek, for Coleman. We'll see if the Lions can pick up where they left off in that last drive where they slammed, really did a good job of stymieing that Milan drive attempt. 1:54 to go in the third. Flag goes down right away. Coleman gets the first down all the way past midfield, but we'll see what the flag is. It's going to be illegal motion against Milan. So that is a big break for CPA. It comes back, and that'll be 5 yards marked off, which will bring up a 3rd down and 11. No, it'll make it 2nd and 11. You get the down back. I always forget that. Cook, number 5, back in the game for Milan. CPA on defense right now. On the line, you have Elliott, Brown, Benedict, Parker Howell. Linebackers, it looks like you've got Landers, Keck in the middle. Chris Charles also. Defensive backs, Richard, Xander Isaacs, Chase Smith, and Will Godwin. 1:45 on the clock, third quarter. It's going to be a play-action pass attempt. Great play by Godwin to break it up right there. Will Godwin, nicely done. Octavius Cook was the intended receiver, but number 18 was right there to disrupt that one. And the senior flag. No, wait. Hold on. There's another flag down. It's against Milan. We'll see if the Lions take it. Declining is the symbol from the line judge. Holding was the call, so rather than making it 2nd down and would have been about 20, I think, CPA will instead take 3rd down and 11. Interesting call right there. You could argue that backing them up would be smart, but I'm not the coach. Coach Martin knows way, way more about football than I ever will, and so we'll see if it pays off. CPA has 3rd and 11. I think that maybe they're banking on the fact that they can stop the Bulldogs for 11. Or rather, short of 11 yards. I'll say it right here. Back to pass. Drop by Cook. Incomplete. So that will pay off for CPA on the choice to decline that penalty. And the Lions will force a punting situation for Milan. It'll be 4th down, 11 from the 38 with 1:35 remaining in the third, right? Another flag is down. Personal foul. No, goodness. Oh, goodness. That's a groaner. That's a face mask against CPA. Oh, my goodness. Well, that is exactly what you didn't want to see happen right there. I have no idea who it was on, but it doesn't matter. It's a face mask against CPA, and that will be a 15-yard mark off and a first down for Milan. That one hurts. Was a spot foul perhaps there? I don't know. Either way, it was a big, big mark off, and 1st and 10. Oh, my goodness. That just hurts if you're CPA. 1st and 10, Milan at the 47 of the Lions. Had him stopped. Was going to be 4th down 11, and instead it's 1st and 10. So here we go. Lions got to find a way to stiffen again here defensively. I formation once again. 1:35 in the third. Coleman, hard to bring down. My goodness, Landers had him around the legs, and Coleman just was able to keep going. And a 4-yard gain, what could have been a gain of 1, he made it into 4. He's just slippery. He's big, fast, strong, and slippery. So it's 2nd down and looks to me like 6, but they're saying, 5.5. Who knows? Somewhere in that range. 2nd down, about 6 or 7 to go. From the 44 of CPA. Under a minute now to go, third quarter, 57 seconds. Caleb Powell hands off to Coleman. Coleman taken down by Parker Howell. But again, he's able to kind of sprint. He sort of springs off the tackle forward for another 2 yards. Good job by Parker, the sophomore, on the tackle. But let's see what the gain is. Just inside at the 40 on the CPA side of the 40-yard line, and the ball is spotted. And it will be 3rd and 3. Well, 3rd and 2.5, I'm calling it. They got to get to just inside the 38-yard line for a first. So it's really actually just at 2 yards. Okay. 3rd down, about 2. Powell. Yes, handoff Coleman. Hit hard. He got it, though. Tackle by Landers. The first man to meet him was Sam Landers, but not before Coleman had enough for the first. I sure think he did, yes. He gained about a half yard past the marker, and it'll be a 1st and 10 Milan. So Lions have got to find a way. Well, now they're saying they're going to measure. I think it's a 1st down unless the marker over there is way off. The yard marker. He had to get to, I think, about the 37.5, and the ball is spotted at the 37 from this vantage point, I think. So, we'll see. Maybe I'm not seeing it right on the angle. Hope I'm wrong. That will be the last play of the third quarter either way. The quarter will expire. Yeah, it's going to be a 1st down. Yeah, it is. What'd I say? Okay. 1st and 10 Milan. And their crowd on the far side likes that. So I don't want to be too down here. It's still only a 1-score game. CPA down 16-8. A touchdown and a PAT, a 2-point conversion away from tying this one. The momentum was with CPA. There's Chase Smith limping down the field. Boy, man, Smith is just having a hard time on that whatever ankle or foot. And that certainly is a factor in this game. With Smith can't go 100%, well, not even 50% probably, if I had to guess. He's playing defense gamely. Offense, he's not running the ball, though. It's been Presley. Really, it hasn't been Presley. It's been Robert Brown and Osborne and Richard on the it's been mostly Robert Brown. The senior has been on the receiving end of Mitchell's passes in that third quarter. If my numbers are right, it was 7 receptions in the quarter for Brown, including 1 touchdown catch, followed by that 2-point conversion reception. Beautiful catch by Osborne in the corner. So Lions win the quarter, 8-6, if you will. Can they win the game now? We'll see. Handoff Coleman. Coleman hit hard. Who was that? Great tackle. Initially, the hit was from either Howell. Yeah, Parker Howell hit him first, I think. They gave Nichols the credit for the tackle, but Howell was in on that one too. Howell and or Brown. It was a good initial hit. I think Nichols came in and finished it off. So good play by the defense right there. It'll be 2nd and 10. No gain that time. Clock 11:28, fourth quarter. Should be a fast quarter if the ball is run as much as it has been, well, especially by Milan. Handoff, Coleman, going to get the corner. Well, he stood up. Who was that who stood him up? Hard to see in that melee. Maybe Benedict. There's a line down on the ground getting up. And it's Smith. Boy, Smith is really struggling on that foot. Also getting up is Godwin. Gain of about 6. It'll be 3rd down and 4 for Milan from the 31 of CPA. 11:05. Milan trying to, from their perspective, put a nail in the coffin. If they could drive down, run some more time off the clock, and score, it would make it awfully tough for CPA to come back. CPA is trying to prevent that. 3rd and 4. No, it's a keeper. Powell will be taken down by Landers first. He fell forward quite a ways, though. We'll see where they mark it. It's short of the first down. Oh, boy, I think so. Oh, I don't know. It's close. Very close. Referee, boy, where are they going to mark that one? That's extremely close. I couldn't tell you. They needed to get to just outside the 30, rather the 27, and the ball is spotted. I think it's a little short. If I had to guess, I'd say it's marked just, I'm going to guess about 4 inches short of the first down. We'll see. 4.2 inches short, it's my guess. We'll see if I'm right here. It's going to be close, very close. It is short. I think it's short by about 2 inches, so I was 2 inches off. The referee says 4 inches. Okay. I know what I'm talking about. So that brings up a 4th down and very short for Milan. What do they do? Well, they're going to go for it, I think. Here comes the heavy package. Marcia Nunn. Yeah, his name is Marcia Nunn. That's his first name. I'm not kidding. Marsha. But I bet you nobody ever makes fun of him about his name. I would not make fun of him. I would say Mr. Nunn, sir, because he is listed at 5'10", 235. So he's in the game at fullback. A name like Marcia, you got to be tough. I mean, and he is, like a boy named Sue. Okay, 10:18, clock running, 4th and inches. CP needs a huge play, a turnover, something. It's going to be handoff. Taken down is Coleman. I think he's short. He is short. What a stand by the Lions. Oh, my goodness. Coleman goes down.
Arkell Coleman short on the play.
What a play by the Lions. I didn't see who made the tackle, but really a hoop. I'll get this right. A host of Lions. Somebody hit him first. The number got lost in the pile. Okay, we're saying maybe it was 10. Whitaker in that case. Who knows? Either Whitaker, Nichols, doesn't matter. The defense held. 1st and 10 Lions. 10:07 to go. Big stop right there. Mitchell going to throw. Looking for Richard. Oh, my goodness. Intercepted. Unbelievable. Well, Octavius Cook stepped in front of Richard. The pass was short. Looked to me like Mitchell may have thrown off his back foot a little bit there, if I had to speculate. And the ball came up short, and Octavius Cook picked it off. That's Cook's 2nd INT of the game, and it was an untimely one. 10:02 remaining in the game. It's a turnover for CPA, and if I sound disappointed, well, I can't hide it. That's tough. Tough one to swallow. Lions are not getting the breaks, and that time Cook with a nice INT. So it'll be 1st and 10, Milan inside CPA territory here at the 45 with 10:02 remaining. Hand off to Coleman. Coleman trying to get the corner, cuts it back inside. He stood up after about a 4-yard gain that time. So pretty good defensive stand right there. Elliott, Adams, and maybe Isaac's on the tackle. Well, Landers, too, gets up the pile last. That's a good sign. The good mark of CPA's defense this year is oftentimes you can miss who makes the tackle because there's so many guys there at the same time. It's a good thing. They're a good swarming defensive unit. Now it's 2nd down and 7. They got to be tired right now. I know they're just gut checking it right now to try to stop this. Coleman, Isaac's in on that. He'll fall forward close to the first down. A flag goes down. We'll see what happened here. I'm guessing it may be a late hit. That's what we're thinking. It may be a late hit. That's the booth speculation so far. 9:13 on the clock. What's the call? Referee's talking about. They're going to go over and talk to Milan about it. I think it's. Well, hold on a minute. Oh, it's against Milan. I missed that. Okay, personal foul against Milan. Late hit on the lineman. All right. 53. You got it. Thank you. Gage Luter, number 53, came in and with a late block attempt, perhaps, after the play was dead. So, big play, big break for CPA. I thought maybe I was looking for 53. That was Etchison last year, and this year I don't think they're yes, Isaac Estes Adolph, a young guy, not in the game. So that was against Milan. It's going to bring up a huge step off. So it'll be now 3rd down and 17 to go. Yes, from the 48 back in its own territory. What a huge break, perhaps, if CPA can hold here. Going to throw. Powell looking down, incomplete. Intended receiver that time was Hayden Bolton, but Bolton had no chance. That was thrown way outside, past him and toward the Milan sideline. So it'll be 4th down. Lions get a break on the penalty, and they hold. So CPA will get the ball back. 8:57 on the clock. It is Osborne back to receive the punt of Brett Hopper. Hopper standing at his 35. Osborne standing at about his 16. The kick is away. Osborne makes the catch. Will he make a move? He'll try. He won't get very far that time. Osborne tried to break it to the left. He was taken down nicely that time by T.J. Bryson. Bryson, nothing doing there for Osborne. So, the bottom line is CPA gets the ball back. Can they get something going? I know Mitchell well enough to know that he is intent on making amends for those 2 passes that were intercepted by Octavius Cook. He will be focused on this one, and Mitchell will attempt to right his ship, as it were. Mitchell's a humble kid, an outstanding quarterback, strong arm. I think we'll see if he bounces back from those mistakes. I think he will, if I had to speculate. Hand off to Presley. Presley has some room. Presley scattering up to the 20. 4-yard gain there. He looked like may have had some more, possibility, potentially, but still positive. 4 yards. Clock running. 8:30. Lions have got to produce on this drive, I would say. Otherwise, you're in deep trouble. Timeouts, all 3 for both teams. Clock running, though. 8:20. 8-point lead. Mitchell throwing for Manuel. Nice catch there by Andrew Manuel, the junior. 1st down, Lions up to the 34-yard line. Good job there. Nice throw on the inside slant and a nice catch by Andrew. 8:12. Clock stop momentarily. The chains move. CPA. This is Albert Mitchell time. Chase Smith is hurt, not playing on offense. Presley is the tailback. He's good. Mitchell, though, pass to Osborne on a little bit of a screen, inside screen pass, and it will be a good gain past the 40. Just past the 40. That'll bring up about a 2nd down and 4. A little more than 4, perhaps. 7:40 on the clock. Mitchell looks to the sideline. Clock is running, but Lions need that 1 score and the 2-point conversion to tie this thing up. Mitchell, keeper. Has some room. Mitchell has some room. Mitchell still running down, taken down with a 1st down. Good blocking right there. I think it was Don Mitchell, his brother, and Robert Brown with some good blocks to free Mitchell on that keeper. Oh, I had a little bit of a heartbeat skip there. Mitchell, who had gone down injured in that Milan game on a similar kind of play. Well, not play, but a similar kind of tackle from his feet, at his feet. So 1st and 10 Lions at the 49. Clock at 7:13 and running fourth quarter. Crowd below us anxious. Seated. Most of them are seated. Mitchell handoff. Presley. Presley breaks the first wave. Presley, not much more. Well, he will get just maybe a yard, 2 yards on the run. So Max was past the line of scrimmage momentarily, and then he was taken down. Clock still runs, 6:46. Tension, you can cut it with a knife, at least in the booth here. Here's Mitchell looking. Oh, my goodness. Oh, the slant was almost picked off, but it was dropped by number 6, Davon Andrews. Oh, slant intended for Osborne. Ooh, that one really should have been picked off. It was thrown at a place where Davon Andrews, the sophomore, had a really good shot for a pick 6 right there. He dropped it. Okay, 6:32. 3rd down and 8 now. Brown is to the left here in the slot. Richard to the far left. On the other side, 4 receivers. It's Osborne and Manuel the other side. Mitchell going to throw. Down the middle for Brown. 1st down. Robert Brown makes the catch. He is playing lights out at receiver. In this second half, he has, I believe, 8 receptions. And the touchdown. 6:25. Chains are moving. Ball now at the 37. 1st and 10 CPA. Milan trying to get a player off the field. Clock starts now. Mitchell. Handoff Presley up the middle. Presley breaks the first wave. Presley gets outside. Presley to the 30. The 25. No, 26. Yes, 25. What a run by Max. 1st and 10 Lions again. Good job by Max to bounce it outside and get the corner. He's slippery and he's zippy, as I said before. The Evan Rude, Mad Max Presley. Down to the 25. 1st and 10 Lions. They're driving. 6:17 on the clock in the 4th. Lions trying to tie this one up with an 8-point touchdown. They need it. Mitchell going to throw. That's intercepted. Oh, my goodness. That was off the mark. It was intended for Manuel, but it was picked off by number 24, Will Brasher. So the 3rd interception right of the half for Milan. That time, well, goodness. It'll be 1st and 10 Bulldogs at the 17 of Milan. Oh, man. Well, 6:11 to go. This game not over by any stretch. It's 3 timeouts for CPA and for Milan. So the Lions, they have time. They just have got to get the ball back, obviously. And it's a familiar formation. 1 receiver out to the right. Far right is Bolton. I formation, handoff Coleman. Coleman trying to get free, gets to the second wave, and fights his way down for a good gain of about 7. Yeah, 7-yard gain up to the 24 for Coleman. Landers on the tackle, number 6. Sam rotates out for a play, and in is Keck. So Keck and Nichols are in at linebacker along with, what am I not seeing? Well, Brown's in there anyway. It's Smith, yes. Smith, Richard, Isaacs, and Godwin. Handoff again. Coleman to the left side, trying to get the corner. Nice tackle. Oh, my gosh. I saw grass. I thought it was the ball. Goodness, that was a big chunk of grass flew up. I thought it was the football for a second, but it was Isaacs making the tackle. Very close to the 1st down. It is a 1st down. So Coleman is able to convert that into a 1st down. Good tackle by Xander, but not quite enough to stop the 1st down. 5:19. Lions are in that territory where they got to have a stop pretty soon here if they hope to get a chance to score and tie this game up. Powell. Going to hand off to Coleman, spinning away from Brown, tackled by Nichols. Nichols trying to get the ball, and also Isaacs. Nichols there trying to rip the ball out. Lions hoping for either a stop or a turnover. Right now it's going to be 2nd down and 9 at the 28. 4:42 clock running. Some point here you think about maybe a timeout. Not quite yet. 4:32. Obviously, Milan taking his time, using the entire play clock if they can. Referee looking at his watch. Handoff, Coleman. Coleman up the middle, tackled by Isaacs after a gain up to the 34. So it's going to bring up 3rd and 3. 3rd and a short 3. They have just under 3 yards to go to the 36.5 for the first down. Clock it running at 3:52. Lions desperately need a stop here. Almost essential to stop this one. 3:43. Man in motion. Same formation the whole game pretty much. Coleman hit in the backfield. Tackle down. Chase Smith hit him first. It'll be short of the first down. It'll be short of the 35. It's spotted, well, at the 35, just on the 35. And it's going to be about 2 yards short of the first. 4th down. Here comes the punter. Wow. Big play there by the injured Chase Smith, who breaks through the into the backfield and hits Coleman. And that slowed him up enough that his teammates were able to get in and make the tackle. Smith is literally, almost one-legged running off the field. He is playing with courage, but man. Okay, punt formation. Watch the fake here. 2:53. It is almost blocked. It was tipped. Just fall on it. Oh, my goodness. Don't fumble. Nichols falls on it at the 48-yard line. Was that James Elliott? Was it Elliott who got through there? I think it was James Elliott. He broke through and almost, I think he did block that one. The referee down there signaled that it was tipped, and that helped make it a shorter kick. So, big play by Elliott. 2:45 remaining in the fourth quarter. Lions have the ball at the 48-yard line. 1st and 10. Mitchell in the gun with Presley beside him. Going to throw, or try to throw. Looking downfield for Osborne. Makes the catch. What a catch! Osborne was hit. He held onto the football. Unbelievable by J.R. Osborne. He got smacked down, and he may be shaken up, but what a catch. He kept that ball at his chest. He's shaking his head like I think he's a little bit shaken up. What a catch. J.R., hope he's okay. He goes off under his own power. He looks a little bit dazed. Coach Dr. Cook over there talking with him to see if he's okay. He hit his whole body and his head on the ground hard, but not before a great reception. 2:32 to go. 1st and 10 Lions at the 25. In motion is Manuel. Here's Mitchell. Mitchell looking to throw. He may have to run. He'll throw it to Richard out of bounds. Goes Richard at the 20. So a 5-yard gain that time, right? Yes. It is a 5-yard gain. If we open the window. You might hear a little more crowd noise here. We're opening the window to get a bit better view. Okay. So it is now going to be 2nd down and 5. Lions at the 20. Richard to the left. 3 receivers to the right. Brown, Osborne back in the game, and Manuel. Great catch a minute ago by Osborne, and he got smacked down hard, but didn't drop the football. And then Richard. Here's a rollout to the right for Mitchell. Mitchell's got Osborne to the 20, to the 16 or so. Richard was open downfield along with, you may have heard that up here in the booth, Manuel. A couple guys in the booth noticed that. Several receivers were open. Mitchell did find Osborne. He got close to the first down, but it'll be about a yard short. Well, maybe 2 yards short. Hard to tell. 1.5 yards. So 3rd down. Oh, huge play here, no question. 3rd down and 1.5. 2:13 on the clock. What do they do here? Maybe you throw it or maybe you run up the middle with Presley. We'll see. Presley, no. Keeper for Mitchell. Mitchell has enough room. Yes, Mitchell first down and much more. Down to the 6. Mitchell stumbling all the way down to the 6. First and goal, CPA with 2:06 to go. Chains are going to move, or actually they won't be a factor here because it's going to be first and goal. I'll get it right. You hear the crowd up, excited, right down below us. Mitchell looking to the sideline. Clock is running, 2 minutes to go even in this one, or at least in regulation. First down goal from the 7. Mitchell with Presley beside him. Mitchell going to roll out to his right again, being chased, looking for someone to throw it to. Flag goes down. Ball is caught at the 1, but there's a flag down. I'm going to say, yeah, it's holding. Ah, goodness. Holding against CPA. Gracious, gracious, gracious. That's tough. Milan crowd likes that one. Clock stopped right now with 1:40 to go. Holding called against CPA. That'll back up the Lions. We'll see how far. The catch was made down there at the 1. But instead it will be second down, right? Or maybe first down again, no. It'll be first and goal from the 25, really? Oh, man. That's tough. That's a penalty that just drives you crazy. Okay, Mitchell looking to throw. Mitchell finds Osborne open. Osborne makes the catch, trying to get away. Gets out of bounds. Good job by Osborne. Heads up there. If you saw that, JR was going down. He reached the ball toward the sideline and touched it with the ball, stopping the clock. What a play in terms of intelligence right there by J.R. Osborne. Clock stopped with 1:30 to go. Not much of a gain, though, only 3 yards, so it'll be second down and goal from the 22. Mitchell with Presley, 4 receivers out. 3 on the wide side. Mitchell going downfield for Osborne. Oh, my goodness. Oh, we almost had that. Hit his hands. Osborne couldn't quite make the catch. Just that close. 1:26 now to go. That looked like it might have been 6, but Osborne couldn't quite bring it in. Had it in the hands. Timeout called by CPA. 1:26 on the clock. Third down and goal from the 22. They are down to their last 2 plays to tie this one up, or get within 2, I guess it should say, and then try and tie it on a PAT. 2-point conversion. Well, right now things look tough for CPA. It's a kind of a mountain to climb, if you will. Coach is around. Coach Martin talking to the offense, and really the whole the whole offense. A lot of other guys in the big huddle right there. Stick around. We're going to attempt to do an interview from the field after this one's over. $1:26 to go. If we can get down to the field, we'll do an interview with either Coach Martin or a player. What can you say about this one? It's been a tale of unfortunate mistakes, I think, in one respect for CPA, with some penalties, some turnovers, a fumble, some interceptions that have really stymied the Lions into getting any kind of rhythm going offensively. Defense, they've really played better the second half, a lot better than the first, holding the Bulldogs to only 6 points this half. Here we go. Mitchell, Presley, Richard left, Brown, Osborne, Manuel to the right. The rush is on. Mitchell's going to fumble. It's fallen on by Presley. Lions will maintain possession, but they'll have the ball at the 35 with the clock running at 1:13. It's going to be 4th down and goal from the 35. By the time Mitchell pressure was put on that time by Trevor Milan, number 7 from the left side. He was able to get on the blind side of Mitchell. Timeout called by CPA will be their second of the half. They'll have 1 remaining with 1 minute flat on the clock. Milan's stands have erupted. Now they're hopeful, and they have good cause to be hopeful. It's 4th down and goal for CPA from the 35. So obviously, if you're doing the math on that, the Lions have got to get the end zone. It's essentially something of a Hail Mary, I think, or maybe you run a hook and lateral. Who knows? But you got to get 6 on this play. Otherwise, or a penalty against Milan, I guess, would perpetuate the game. But CPA has a tall order in front of him. We'll see if Milan goes into a prevent defense. Essentially, they're probably going to go a lot of guys back. They got Coleman in the game, along with Warden. Kind of some hands, receivers back there. Lions are going to have Manuel to the left. Landers may help to block. It's going to be Brown, Richard, and Osborne to the right. One of those 3 guys could be a hero. We'll see. Mitchell to throw. Going to the end zone. It's going to be up in the air. Tipped around. Falls incomplete. Well, that had a chance for a moment to be caught by Richard, Brown, or maybe Manuel, but it falls incomplete, and not a bad throw by Mitchell. It was close to the goal line there. It was tipped up. Brown is talking to Coleman down there, and they're shaking hands. The inevitable, Lions have 1 timeout, and the clock is at 53 seconds to go in the 4th quarter. The season's going to end for CPA in the same round it did last year. The Lions are going to fall to 13-1. And I think we'll forego the post game there. Coach Martin is down there congratulating, trying to comfort perhaps his guys. Victory formation for the Bulldogs. The knee taken by Powell. And CPA will take its last time out, I think. Maybe not. 44 seconds and running. Milan crowd understandably ecstatic. They get a chance to go back and have a rematch with CAK next Friday in the championship game, barring some kind of miracle, a fumble or something here. I doubt it. V formation again. That's it. Powell takes the snap, and that'll be the last snap of the game with 18 seconds, and it'll be game. Game will clock will run out. And Milan celebrates, and the Lions make their way toward midfield. Chase Smith is down. Jack Hooper's down. Godwin, I see. Whitaker hunched over. Brown. Courageous effort by Robert Brown in the second half. All those receptions. Harold Huggins, thank you. Good to see you. And so there is the handshake at midfield, and it's a tough one for CPA. So the second year in a row, the Lions are done in the semifinal round, and you have to say this one hurts perhaps even more than last year. Last year it was the Lions a bit of an upstart team, and they weren't really expected to do much. This year, CPA was the favorite among many prognosticators coming into this game. Got word from Jack Cawthorn that they're going to have a fireworks display as a thank you to our seniors. Some fireworks going to go off, I think, to the left. But as the handshakes go, we'll say the Lions will finish at 13-1, and Milan will move on at 12-2 to face, I think, CAK. Jack Hooper is down there on the field being consoled by some teammates, including Grady Sutton. Just a tough way to end it. I mean, there's no way to sugarcoat this. For the Lions, they had high hopes of advancing to state for the first time since 2002. Instead, it's Milan returning to once again to a familiar spot, the state championship game. So the Milan Bulldogs come to CPA this evening. And despite a courageous second-half performance by Robert Brown especially, Max Presley And the entire Lions defense. The defense gives up 6 points in the second half, but couldn't quite get it going offensively. Penalties, turnovers. Unfortunately, the Lions couldn't quite get their offense going enough to, they were close. They had a chance to get 6 and then go for 2 at the end there, but penalties put them back to 4th and goal from the 35. And Milan's team there, obviously they're celebrating with the cheerleaders and some of their fans at midfield. And you can't really blame them. They've got reason to be excited, obviously. Lions will take a knee on the left side, and you see the camera on them right now on CPA. They'll have perhaps Mr. Anderson is going to speak, I think, to the Lions. Yeah, make our way down there and try to do a quick interview. So stick with us, and I'll be back with you from the field momentarily. No. Test. Can you hear me? Test. Nothing. I have trouble there with our handheld mic. I apologize for that. We're not going to be able to go down and get any kind of interview. But right now you can see the team is praying. Coach Martin is down there. Mr. Anderson, our headmaster, in that mix somewhere. I'm sure Nate Morrow is in their high school principal. Mr. Coach Elson, the AD, coaches, cheerleaders, players, praying. And I think I would guess, putting this in perspective somewhat, who knows, but right now it just kind of hurts for CPA, and it's going to hurt tonight. The Lions bow out of the 3A playoffs 2012. Once again, 13-1. So in 2 years, CPA goes 25-3. It's really nothing to be ashamed of. Just short. 2 points last year and 8 points this year, short of the goal of reaching that state final. So Milan gets a chance to go back and play CAK next week. Final stats, I'm not sure if we'll have those or not. I know Mr. Jim is working on that next door here. We have the final stats. Here we go. Game summary. 16-8, of course, Bulldogs win. First downs, 19 for Milan, 16 for CPA. Let's see here. Total yards, 306 for Milan, 220 for the Lions. Passing yards, 151 for CPA and 66 for Milan. Looking for passing yards. I already got that. Rushing yards, 240 for Milan, 88 for the Lions. Big telling difference right there. Score by quarter. Nothing in the first quarter. 10-0 Milan in the second quarter. 10-0 at halftime. 8 and 6 scored in the third quarter. Nothing in the fourth quarter. 16-8 Milan with the final score. First score of the game. Milan went 9 plays for 70 yards and scored on a 26-yard field goal by Caleb Appleton. Bulldogs then went 14 plays, 78 yards, and T.J. Bryson rushed for a 3-yard touchdown. And that made it 10-0. Appleton makes, let's see here, on the next score it was a 41-yard drive, 4 plays. At 9:07 of the third, touchdown for Coleman, 6 yards, no good on the extra point. Then Lions scored then the last 2 scores of the game, 13 plays, 80-yard drive, 4:41 of the third. Mitchell passes to Brown for a 2-yard touchdown. And then the 15-yard PAT attempt was good to make it 16-8. That was the final score. Individual stats. For Milan, Powell was 3 of 9, only 3 passes completed for 33 yards, for 66 yards. His longest was 24, no TDs. Rushing, Coleman, listen to this, folks, Coleman, 47 for 231 yards. That's right, 47 carries for 231 net yards and 1 touchdown. That's a big night for Arkell Coleman. Not much in the way of receiving for Milan. CPA. Mitchell, 17 of 30 for 151 yards, a long of 27 and 1 touchdown pass. With the 3 interceptions, a big stat on the evening as well. Rushing, Smith was 7 for 26 before going out with the injury. Presley came in, ran 10 times for 55 yards. Trice 1 for 9, and Mitchell 4 for a net of 6. Receiving, Brown, 9 receptions, I think all in the second half, maybe not. 75 yards for Robert Brown. Great second half for Brown, and 1 touchdown. Osborne was 5 for 40. Richard 2 for 21, and Manuel 1 for 15 yards. And that pretty much wraps up the stats. Well, I'm going to go on defense here. Tackles, 10 for Landers, the leading tackler for the Lions. Elliott with 7, Smith with 6, Brown 5, Godwin 4, Isaacs also had 5, Richard 3, and Chris Charles 3. Nichols with 7, I should say that. Houston Nichols with 7. So defensively, that's how the Lions stacked up. Unfortunately, it's over for this season. Lions will end it at 13-1. So we'll say a word of congratulations to Coach Ingle Martin and his staff and his players on an outstanding season, really. I mean, 13-1, nothing to be ashamed of in the least. And we'll sign off. This is Phil Newman for Derek Penico. Am I saying that name right? Penico on production tonight. Big thanks to Derek, who's working as part of our athletic department these days. And Mary Monroe on the roof above us with the camera. Thanks to Mary. And this season we had some help from Courtney Baker, I mentioned, and some others. Want to say thank you for joining us. Thanks for being with us. Tune in for basketball this coming winter. We'll have some girls and boys games on the air. And look for email, Facebook, and website updates for times and dates of broadcasts. So once again, from CPA, wishing you a good weekend, and we'll see you soon back here at the Academy. This is Phil Newman. Thanks for joining us, and good night.